Next man up, 1025, The Game. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly alongside you on your Thursday morning. We are broadcasting live from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Usually it's a TD Thursday, but TD is on a well-deserved vacation right now. He'll be back next week, and we had to switch the schedule around a little bit. Connor, usually with us on Fridays. Max Hers is going to join us to preview the NHL draft tomorrow. So we made it a White Girl Thursday with Connor Nute.
How about that? Well, I appreciate the flexibility, and I appreciate you still having me on.
Well, I appreciate you being flexible so that we could make this all work. So we've got Connor in for the full show today. Tomorrow we'll have Max. And don't worry, TD will be back next week to talk plenty of Titans.
He's in Greece right now, I think.
Yeah, he's he is on a well-deserved vacation. He was talking to us last week about, he feels like it's been years since he's kind of like just taken a break and looked up after, grinding. So we are happy for TD being on vacation, and we will see him next week as we go through the lull in this offseason right now. Connor, how's it going?
It's good, man. I'm excited. The USA plays tonight.
Yes.
I see the grid. I am in fact 2-0.
Yes.
I guess I've been on every day that they've played a match.
Yes, that's what I was thinking about it when we made this switch yesterday, and I said to Parker, I was like, hey, the 2 Fridays we've had Connor on, the US is won, so why not keep it going? Even though this game doesn't really matter, we'll bring Connor in and see if the US can go 3-0 in the group stage.
Hopefully it continues tonight, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of players sat, just because it does not matter. Turkey's already out. US has already won the group. It does not matter.
Yeah. And honestly, I saw somebody texted in yesterday, and I forget who it was, but I think it's a good plan of rotate everybody. Don't play the guys with yellows. If there's anybody nursing an injury like Pulisic, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't play. But I think keep who's been starting in goal? Like, they haven't been tested. Turner or Freeze?
It was Freeze.
Yeah. Keep your goalie in there. And because I think he hasn't been tested very much. Your back line hasn't been tested very much. I think Turkey might get, they had lots of opportunities in their 2 games against Australia and Paraguay. They just didn't cash in. They haven't scored yet. So I'd like to see the back line tested a little bit, and hopefully that gives them the experience. 99% chance that the U.S. will face Bosnia and Herzegovina in the round of 32 after they beat Qatar. I don't know.
Qatar?
That's the actual way it's supposed to be pronounced, I think.
It's Qatar. Remember the World Cup was there 4 years ago?
It was there. I didn't say it right. It's not Qatar. It's like, I don't know, but it's not Qatar either. Qatar. That's what it is. It's Qatar. Yes.
Bowley?
Yeah. Qatar Bowley.
Arizona State
Same
legend?
way it's pronounced. Qatar. That is the correct pronunciation.
I will continue to say Qatar.
We have not been good on pronunciation of World Cup countries.
Well, at least we know who the U.S. will probably play in the next round, and we can say that correctly.
Yeah,
Bosnia
and Herzegovina.
Yes,
I've got that one down.
Yeah, that's one of the harder ones.
Exactly. It could have been Qatar if they had beaten Bosnia. That was actually a fun game yesterday. I don't know if you watched any of that. You might have been on the air. It was at 2.
I was working. I watched Brazil and Scotland yesterday.
Yeah, Brazil.
Hey, don't let Brazil get hot.
Yeah.
That's one of your teams, right?
I guess so. I have to claim them now.
We'll do a quick check-in here.
I was cheering for the Scots just because
Me too. The Scots are fun.
They're fun. They haven't drank a lot of beer in Miami. So they drank all the beer out of Boston and then
New York.
But they haven't been drinking in Miami. Maybe they don't like the tequila out there.
Yeah, that is true. It may not be their vibe. They're more dark beer. Let's see. Let's check in on our standings here. So I have Spain, Portugal, and the U.S. I believe all of them are at the top of their groups right now. Spain is at the top of their group. Portugal plays Colombia, so that's going to be a big one, but should advance. I believe they might have even clinched that they're advancing.
If Ronaldo is on like he was the other day, they should win.
So all 3 of my teams are advancing. For Parker, Belgium could be in a little bit of trouble, but they play New Zealand, so they should be able to get a win there. Let's see. France and Brazil are both good. For Connor, Argentina's advanced, Germany's advanced. Senegal should make it to the next round if they can beat Iraq in their last round.
Senegal, baby.
So out of our 9 picks, the Senegal is the only one that could be in some danger.
Which was a complete joke and shot in the dark.
Right. Instead, you just didn't want to pick England.
No, I refuse. And they tied the other day, and that was hilarious. Did you hear the announcers say England is pretty used to struggling in Massachusetts?
Yes. They said historically they have not done well here. It's true. Boston Tea Party.
And I'm not a huge fan of the main Fox guy. Like, I think he tries a little bit too hard.
Yeah.
But I feel like I need a guy with an accent.
I thought that was well done. Yeah, it feels weird to watch soccer games where the play-by-play guy isn't British.
I do it myself. Especially for the like I was watching Argentina the other day, and he didn't do it the way I wanted it to, so I went Messi.
Yeah, it's just strange. And the U.S. has had an American broadcaster both times. I'm like, I kind of want a British guy in there.
Yeah, maybe when we get deeper.
Oh, just a brilliant touch.
That's it.
Like
you
need that when you're watching soccer. It doesn't feel real. We had some news this morning. LaMelo Ball being traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, that was quick because it came out last night that he was on the trading block and they were shopping.
Right.
And then, next morning.
I was thinking about this when I saw that. I pulled into the station and I saw the news. Is there a more irrelevant franchise in all of sports than the Charlotte Hornets / Bobcats?
Arizona Cardinals, maybe.
But the Cardinals, they went to the Super Bowl 15 years ago. At least they've been competitive at times. I can't even remember the last time Charlotte was in the playoffs. Maybe they've been in the playoffs, but
maybe in the Kemba days.
Have you ever thought of the Charlotte Hornets or Bobcats as a contender in your entire life?
No, and it doesn't matter who they have on their roster.
Right. They've just always been horrible. And sure, there are times that they make the playoffs, but that might be one of the most irrelevant franchises in all of sports.
I mean, go across their history too. Alonzo Mourning was a good player. Kemba Walker in his prime was a good player.
They had Emeka Okafor was one of their early players on the Bobcats.
That was the Bobcats.
Yeah, that even if you look at other
Larry Johnson,
other teams that have long postseason droughts, like the Jets right now. The Jets play in New York, and people care about the Jets even when they're horrible. I guess you could have said the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah, but they're back.
But they played well this year, although they just made 2 pretty significant trades. The Bowen Byram going to the Blackhawks. And
they fleeced Chicago for that, though.
Crazy trade. And then it was a sign-in trade with Alex Tuck going to the Capitals. And he got a big deal.
It's like 10
8 years, 10.5 million.
Something like that.
And
the funniest part about this trade is, though?
The 2033 first-round pick.
Literally a 5th grader.
Yes. Yeah. The class of the class of 2032 in high school. So, yeah, somebody born in 2014 is going to be
They're doing their summer reading right now.
I mean, I don't like that you can trade picks that far in advance.
No.
The NFL was trying to stretch it out to 5 years, I believe, and it's just I don't like it. I would rather keep it to 2, maybe 3 years in advance. And, that's fine. It's still within the realm of your timeline. But 2033, odds are no one involved with the Charlotte Hornets is going to still be working for that team at that point.
Yeah.
Right?
And no one's going to parochial league basketball and scouting. I say parochial league. That's a joke. But no one's scouting, travel team 5th grade basketball right now.
Right.
Maybe once they get to the 8th or 9th grade.
Yeah. I don't like that. But 2033, unprotected. Look out for that, Charlotte fans. Scott said, didn't Charlotte make the playoffs this year, the play-in round? I don't count the play-in round. Yeah. Let me see how often they've made the playoffs in the last 10 years.
Play-in doesn't count.
Because they have had years that they've been okay, but obviously they haven't made any runs.
Play-in doesn't count. Just like Jaden Quaintance doesn't count as a Kentucky Wildcat.
Let's see. All right. Well, that's not helping me.
Yeah.
Play-in doesn't count. I hate the play-in. I do not think that it should exist.
It's too much.
Um,
It's way too much. More than half your league is making your quote postseason. It's stupid. Thank you, Adam Silver, for yet another.
Yeah,
blunder.
like there are adjustments that have been made. I hate the NBA adjustments. Like the MLB has done a nice job. The in-season tournament and the play-in are both horrible.
They're both terrible. They both mean nothing because their whole goal is to try and get people to care. But if the players don't care, then I don't care.
The last time the Hornets played an actual playoff series, so not the play-in, was 2016. It's been 10 years.
With Kemba.
Yes.
They were probably out by the first round.
And it's so funny. It's like they list all-time top 12 players on Basketball Reference. And I've got to say, like, I recognize Kemba Walker. I recognize Muggsy Bogues. I recognize Del Curry. I got to say, I think that's about it.
Larry Johnson.
It's a bunch of
Alonzo Mourning.
Oh, Gerald Wallace. Yeah,
Gerald
Gerald Wallace played there for a while. Larry Johnson. But like you get down, according to Basketball Reference, based on win shares, their sixth best player in franchise history is Cody Zeller.
Is he still there?
No, there's no shot, right?
He feels like a lifer to me.
Real ones remember Cody Zeller, Indiana.
No, Cody Zeller retired 2 years ago with the Pelicans, but he did play 8 years in Charlotte.
Congrats to Cody Zeller.
Cody Zeller, sixth best player in Charlotte Hornets history.
What a legacy of a career he leaves behind in Charlotte.
615-737-1025 is the phone number. We'd love to hear from you. Our phone and text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Let's talk some Titans coming up next. The trailer for quarterback has been released, and that's going to be something to give us some content through July. I believe it comes out July 14th. So about a week and a half before training camp begins. So we'll get to see that. We'll talk about what we're excited to see with Cam Ward being featured in that series, along with Joe Flacco. I'm fired up to see some Joe Flacco in quarterback as well. We'll also talk some Preds during the show today as they made another trade yesterday with the Colorado Avalanche. Chris MacFarland sticking with what he's familiar with. And also Nolan Smith from Tennessee State is going to join us at 10:30. We had him on a couple of weeks ago. We'll talk to Coach Smith again coming up in the second hour of the show. 615-737-1025. We are off and running. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly. Next man up. 125 the game. This might be the first time ever that Parker has played the same bump music in back-to-back segments.
That's right.
Now, it's
good memory.
It's between two shows, but he played this to end the show with Corey yesterday, too.
And did Corey hate it?
Corey said he's more of a Macho Man guy.
So he hates it.
I'm a neither guy. I don't really like Hulk Hogan or Macho Man, but, I respect the song. It's a great song.
It is a good song. We were talking about, are the Charlotte Hornets maybe the most irrelevant franchise in sports? I was going through it and I told you, since they moved to New Orleans in 2002 and then were recreated as the Bobcats in 2004, they have not gotten past the first round of the playoffs. They have never been to a conference finals.
They're sad. Like, I think you're right. I think they're the worst franchise across all sports.
I mean, you just don't think about them all that much. And Adam Vingan, our friend on DVD, did text me. He said, "Don't you dare disparage Con Knippel." And Con Knippel,
hey, that's true.
Great rookie season.
Shooter.
And I texted Adam back. I said, maybe him and that 2033 first-round pick can make a great dynamic duo down the road.
And with Naz Reid there, too.
They have Brandon Miller on that team, too, don't they?
Yeah. But he hasn't really...
Yeah, he hasn't been...
broken out.
Right. He's been fine, I think, but
yeah,
not what you would expect from, the second overall pick?
Yeah. No, he hasn't been... I mean, he's been fine, but, Charlotte Hornets, man. Charlotte in general just kind of has... I mean, I know the Hurricanes just won the Stanley Cup, so maybe they're the outlier here, but do you think about the Panthers anymore?
Not really.
Not really.
I mean, but they at least, that's what, Parker and Ian were telling me. They were like, the Hawks might be in there. But, I remember the Hawks going to an Eastern Conference Finals. I remember the years with, Paul Millsap and Al Horford in the front court where they were the number one seed in the East. Same with the Panthers. I can remember back to Cam Newton winning an MVP and them going 15-1 and going to the Super Bowl.
And losing.
With the Hornets, I can't remember a time where they were title contenders because they never have been.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Them and the Pelicans, honestly.
Yeah, that is true. And the Pelicans don't have any excuses because they've had two guys who were tagged as generational talents coming out and still haven't been able to do anything.
Yeah. With Anthony Davis and Zion Williamson. Zion's really been, I don't want to say he's a bust because he's been fine when healthy, but he's never healthy.
Yeah.
So that's the problem.
Right. If he could just,
lay
off some of that great Bayou food down there in New Orleans. We saw yesterday the first trailer for quarterback came out. Cam Ward going to be featured alongside Jaden Daniels, Baker Mayfield, and Joe Flacco. I'm excited to see this. I did want to ask, though, you've been playing the Build a Quarterback game.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen this, we played the 20-0 Titans game a few weeks ago, and that was the big thing. Try and build your 20-0 football team and your 82-0 basketball team. The new trend is build a player, and you get 9 different traits of different quarterbacks, and it spins the wheel. You get a team, and then you get one of their 3 or 4 quarterbacks. Out of the 4 quarterbacks featured on this show, what would you take from each of them?
Cam Ward, he's got some pretty good stats, actually.
He does.
I take his leadership.
I would go playmaking creativity for Cam Ward.
I would take probably Flacco's arm.
Yeah. Even though he's a little older, I think he still has an A- arm on that game.
I would definitely take Jaden Daniels' legs.
Yep.
Who's the other one?
Baker. Accuracy, maybe.
Actually, I would take Baker's leadership and Cam's playmaking.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see this. I think for Cam Ward, we've seen his personality shine through a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
They showed him fishing.
If we keep it a buck, that's been kind of one end of the spectrum, but also playful with the media, asking Paul Kuharsky if he could remember a play call. We've seen his personality shine through a little bit, but this is going to be more in depth. We're going to see him away from the facility. We're going to see what he does on game days, on the sideline. I think this is a really good opportunity for Cam Ward to establish himself as somebody that people want to watch. But obviously, in order to become a superstar, you have to perform on the field. That's going to be the next step. But I do think quarterback is going to set himself up to be a possible household name if he can back it up on game days.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen what this show does. It creates heroes. Remember, everyone fell in love with Kirk Cousins a couple of years ago when he was on there.
Kirko Chains.
Everyone fell in love with Jared Goff, who was kind of the middle of the pack quarterback on that show because it was Mahomes, Goff, and Mariota. The first year. And then the second year was Burrow, Cousins. Was it?
Who was the other one?
I feel like it was a rookie.
Did Kirk do it again?
He might have.
I think Kirk did it twice. So yeah, and then last year they did wide receivers because no quarterbacks wanted to do it.
It was wide receiver in the middle of the 2 quarterback seasons.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think I watched wide receiver.
I watched a little bit of wide receiver. I watched both seasons of quarterback. I watched probably the first 2 or 3 episodes of wide receiver. But I'm excited. July 14th, this comes out. I think the big thing I want to see is just the fortitude through the struggles of his rookie year. Obviously, you get off to a tough start. You're 1-5 and your head coach gets fired and you've got to deal with that. A new play caller 3 games into the season. And overall, the season just doesn't go very well. You win 3 games. Cam had his own personal struggles. You can look back at some of the plays that he made, the pick 6 against the Colts, the ghost fumble against the Patriots that kind of put that game out of reach. I'm excited to see how he's able to respond. I think we know that he's a confident guy and he's somebody who's dealt with turmoil and being doubted in his life. So I don't doubt that he was able to get through it, but we're going to get a firsthand look at what actually happened last season as he dealt with a 3-win season.
Yeah, I'm excited for you guys to see the human side of Cam Ward because when we're out on the practice field, we see a little bit of it, but we don't report on that. We report on, what throws is he making? How does he look on the practice field? So I'm not saying I know him on a personal basis. I don't, but I'm excited to see the human level. And I think that's going to help people kind of associate themselves more with Cam Ward and become more in love with the person and the player.
Yeah.
I think, the trailer, they showed him fishing with Big Jeff.
Right.
That's going to be funny to watch. Like you said, they're going to show him outside of the facility. They're going to show, what does he eat for breakfast on a game day stuff. Remember Marcus a couple of seasons ago where he had his whole personal chef thing and
right.
Everyone was really interested about that because it's like, oh, this is what an NFL quarterback eats on a game day. I think you'll see some of that, maybe not to Marcus's level, but I think you'll see some of that. So I'm really excited. Plus, it gives us something to talk about in mid-July, right before training camp. So.
Right. Yeah, because training camp, I guess the rookies report July 23rd, but the first practice won't be until the very end of July. So that'll give us 2 weeks where we can, binge Netflix and come and talk about it on the show.
We'll have Netflix and College Football 27 to talk about.
Yes, sir.
Me and you.
My favorite part about the Marcus Mariota storyline, that was a tough season for him, where
he was the starter in Atlanta.
Yeah. Right. He was the starter, and then there was, I don't know if you want to call it like a miscommunication or wires getting crossed with Arthur Smith, where he went and got the surgery and Arthur Smith went in front of the media and basically said, like, we don't know why Marcus isn't here. He should be here. But anyway, one of my favorite parts of watching Marcus that year was him learning the playbook. And I don't know if you remember, like, he's sitting at the kitchen counter and his wife is reading a play call to him and he has to relay it right back. Like, that's the type of stuff that you don't get to see with these players, of everything that goes into playing that position at a high level. Like, you think it's just, go out to the practice field and go play. But you've got to, as the quarterback, you have to know all 11 people's responsibility at all times. And you have to be able to relay those calls. Brian Dable in your ear telling you, spider 2Y banana, whatever, X cross, Z dig, all that kind of stuff. And you have to be able to relay that to everybody and know exactly what everybody's supposed to do on those plays. So I'm excited to see Cam Ward in the process of him getting accustomed to the NFL last year.
It's the toughest position in sports. There's no doubt in my mind. And not that the quarterback is the disrespected position in football. In fact, I think it's probably the most respected, because who gets all the MVP votes?
Right.
The quarterback.
Right.
But I think it's going to help you to see just exactly what Cam Ward is going through, especially as a rookie last season, how much of an adjustment period it is from going from a college football player to an NFL quarterback. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be interesting, and I can't wait to talk about it here in about a month.
Yeah, and also, changing play callers 3 games in, changing head coaches 6 games in. It's like, I'm sure that made things a whole lot more difficult on Cam Ward. So excited for quarterback coming out. We'll take your thoughts. 615-737-1025 is the phone number if you want to text or call. Today, the Nashville Sounds take on the Gwinnett Stripers at First Horizon Park, the AAA affiliate of the Atlanta Braves. First pitch is at 6:35, and you can catch all of the action on 94.9 The Fan, presented by Twin Peaks Family Leisure, Maple Street Biscuit Company, Mad Fireworks, and Social Cantina. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly, next man up. 102.5 The Game. Next man up, 1025 The Game. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly. Talking some Titans here in the first hour of the show. And our football offseason coverage is brought to you by Tennessee Brewworks. Finely tuned craft beer for finely tuned fans. Tennessee Brewworks, the official craft beer of the offseason here on 1025 The Game. Quarterback coming out in mid-July. We got our first look at what that might look like with those four quarterbacks being featured: Baker Mayfield, Jaden Daniels, Joe Flacco, and of course, Cam Ward. We're talking about how he was able to persevere through a tough season, a 3-win season. Lenny texts in, it was a 2-win season and a 1-gift season.
This is correct.
I am excited to see the background of the Cardinals game, because that was his first ever NFL win. So I'm sure they're going to feature that game and just how crazy it was. I mean, I've seen the Amari DiMercato clip circulating a couple of times over the last few weeks, and I still cannot believe the Titans found a way to win that game. Maybe better, I cannot believe the Cardinals found a way to lose that game.
Yeah.
I mean, he was an inch away from putting them up 28-6 in the fourth quarter with a chance to just put it away completely. And then Cam throws the pick in the red zone that should have ended the game too, and they fumble, and Tyler Lockett falls on it in the end zone.
That's Tyler Locke's marquee play as a Tennessee Titan.
That is the play everyone will always remember from Tyler Lockett. All of the aging wide receivers have one play that you remember.
Yep. Julio had that one catch on the sideline.
The helmet catch. I was at that game against the Bills on Monday night.
Yeah. I think D-Hop is the outlier here. Because he had a few plays.
Yeah, that's true. D-Hop made some plays, but D-Hop was also at a different point in his career than some of those guys.
Yeah.
Like Andre Johnson, Lions, the touchdown on fourth down that won that game in week 2. Like that people will always remember that one.
Randy Moss touchdown in the back of the end zone.
Yeah. Randy Moss was the first of the Titans wide receiver retirement home.
The "you light my fire" trend. But yeah, I'm excited to see that Cardinals game. I'm excited to see Cam versus Shedeur, because I wonder if they're going to get some inside, like on the field stuff of the chatter between those two, because we remember the whole work. Yeah, so I want to see if there's any banter between those two before or after that game, because remember, the Titans won that game. Shedeur looked better in that game than Cam did, but the Titans won that game. So I'm curious to see that. And I really want to see just how he handles, the whole Callahan situation, changing play callers, like you said, 3 games in, changing coaches. I'm interested to see how that sets up.
Yeah, and the Cleveland game will be specifically interesting because there was a clip in the trailer that came out yesterday that I can only imagine is from that game where Cam goes, "No need to celebrate, we expect to win," or something like that. And
that was that press conference afterwards.
Well, he said this was like a locker room speech. They had a little clip from it. And if you remember, that was the game where everybody was getting on Cam Ward for kind of not being happy about his performance, even though the Titans won. And, Arden Key on the plane ride home, there was stuff that came out about that. But anyway, I think all 3 wins, the Chiefs win, maybe not as much. The Chiefs win was, who was the quarterback in that game? Chris Olakun?
Yeah, well, it was Gardner, and then he tore his ACL.
Right, yeah. So it was, he didn't tear his ACL. They thought he did.
Yeah, and then it was, Chris Olakun.
Chris Olakun was the quarterback. So that one, there's not a whole lot that's going to be interesting out of that game. But the Cardinals win and the Cleveland win are both going to be very interesting when that show comes out in July. The Cardinals game, yes, it was a gift, but Cam also made the big throw down the sideline to Calvin Ridley to set up the game-winning field goal. So, that will be something I'm sure they'll feature in the reaction to that.
They'll cover his first touchdown pass to Alec Iomanner.
100%.
Scrambled outside of the pocket, threw it cross-body to the back of the end zone, and he caught it right at the toe tap. So, they'll cover some of that. I just really want to see, the inner workings of Cam Ward, that mentality. And we saw it a little bit. I haven't watched it yet, but the whole Tubi show.
The 0 star.
I watched it. It's about an hour in length, only 3 episodes.
Okay. I haven't watched it yet, so maybe that'll be my homework this weekend. But
yeah,
I think this will be more in depth. You're going to have 8 episodes, And obviously it's going to bounce around to 3 other quarterbacks,
Right.
but I think you'll still get some more in-depth NFL persona.
Yeah.
Here.
And, it's Tubi versus Netflix, like in terms of the production quality. So I'm sure it'll be better.
And one is produced by the NFL themselves, and the other is, I don't know who produced the Cam Ward one.
I have no idea. Lenny says you're assuming Sanders and Ward will both be starting in October. Well, this comes out in July,
and Ward will be starting in October.
I would be floored if Cam Ward is not start. Shedeur Sanders might not be starting in September, based on the
Deshaun Watson.
Lenny says never mind. But Shedeur Sanders probably isn't going to be starting week 1 based on what we've heard from Todd Monken. But yeah, Cam Ward will be starting in October.
He will be starting in December.
Unless he's hurt.
Yeah. But he's not going to get benched. This isn't a Bryce Young situation unless it's that bad. And you feel like if you're in a winning position, you could put Mitch Trubisky in and he'd lead you to victory. But that would be very bad if that were to happen.
Yeah. Lenny, I'm looking back at the text from yesterday. Did you hear Chase and Big Joe talking, or sorry, it was Chase and Nick. Sorry, Nick and Big Joe talking about the best cut French fry?
They've talked about this before.
Yeah, they did it a couple of years ago. I think both of them have the right answers. It's curly fry or shoestring fry.
See, I'm not a big shoestring guy.
Really?
I'm a waffle fry guy.
They're too small and they go by too fast. The shoestring.
I love the shoestring fries.
Crinkle cut's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not a huge crinkle cut guy. And like the Zaxby's ones are good because they're seasoned well.
Yeah.
But some of the crinkle cut ones just aren't, like, it's kind of bland. Honestly, the seasoning does make the fry, and maybe that's why curly fries are so good, is because they're always seasoned very well.
My take, tater tots are better than any fry cut there is.
I can agree with that. I can get on board.
That's my take.
Yeah, I'm a big tots guy. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. You mentioned Bryce Young, the 98th best player in the NFL.
It's so dumb.
And that's what we're going to talk about to wrap up hour number 1. The NFL Top 100 is so stupid. And I think the NFL should just do away with it. We'll wrap up the first hour of the show after this. 615-737-1025 if you want to text or call. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at 1025 The Game for live shows and exclusive content. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly, next man up, 1025 The Game. Next man up, 102.5, The Game. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly, finishing up the first hour of the show. Going to talk some Preds coming up at 10 o'clock after another trade yesterday. Chris MacFarland going back to the Avalanche well to get some of his former players out there in Colorado. But did want to finish this first hour talking about the NFL Top 100, which, if you didn't know, it's going on right now. And I understood the NFL Top 100 when they put it on NFL Network. Like, that's perfect NFL Network programming for June and July. You do 10 every week or whatever it is, and it gets people to tune into NFL Network to see where their player ended up. Even though the rating system has always been stupid. Like, the players, what'd you get? You win a Super Bowl?
Super Bowl.
There you go. The game is addicting. If you haven't played it, it's like buildaplayer.com.
All right, I'm done for the show.
Something about that where you build a quarterback. I've won 3 Super Bowls.
All right, I'm done for the show. That's all I wanted. Now I can lock in.
The NFL Top 100, basically they just have every player rank 20 players and say, these are my top 20 players in the NFL. But if you've ever seen the ballots, a lot of them are just not great. And you can see that in the results by Bryce Young being rated above Quentin Nelson in terms of who's the better football player.
What metrics are they using for this?
I have no idea.
Like, are they going?
It's just the players. Like, they rate it.
Isn't it? Like the actual players within.
Vote, which, like, I guess, that they would have a good idea. And I'm sure some of the ballots are very well put together. But a lot of them, it's like, oh, I'm going to vote for my teammate. Yeah. And it's not great. Creed Humphrey was just named number 94. This morning.
I didn't know it was going on because they hide it behind Twitter.
They put
it's one of the best centers in the NFL.
Right. 94. And Quentin Nelson, maybe the best guard in the NFL. 99. Bryce Young, 98. I don't understand why they're still doing this when they're just releasing 2 players a day on Twitter all the way up until the season starts. There's just no need for
They're dragging it out to try to get as much content as possible.
Yeah, but they don't promote it.
I know, that's the thing. They used to promote it all the time. It used to be on NFL Network.
Yeah, NFL Network.
They do the top 10, or they do like 10 in a row.
Right, and they'd put out the videos on Twitter anyway, right?
Yeah.
What exact programming on NFL Network is so important that they couldn't put this on NFL Network anymore, and it just has to live on Twitter?
Good Morning Football.
But it happened at 7 o'clock at night.
Reruns.
We're watching reruns of the Seahawks-Patriots Super Bowl or whatever it is. Like, there's no need to hide this on Twitter. Where no one knows what's going on. I just think they need to stop it altogether.
It's pretty pointless.
When no one sees it, well, I guess we're seeing it and we're talking about it, but like when it's not mainstream available for everybody and no one's looking at it and the ratings suck, like, what's the point?
How many Titans do you think make it?
1.
Jeffrey Simmons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Quentin Nelson is 99, sorry, Peter Skoronski's not getting on there.
Yeah.
Like, he's a good player, and probably, if you're being objective and just and taking position out of it, just saying who the most talented players are, I think he's probably borderline top 100. But that's not how it works. Like, there's going to be 15 quarterbacks on here at least if Bryce Young's on it. So, yeah, it'll just be Simmons. Yeah. I would guess Jeff Simmons is probably in the 30s.
Probably, because you know who number 1 will be. Stafford.
Yeah, it's usually whoever the MVP is. JSN will be up there.
Yeah.
Oh, Myles Garrett might be number 1.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, breaking the sack record last year.
Yeah.
But your top 10 will probably be, you'll have Mahomes in there.
Who missed 4 games then this season.
Right. Josh Allen will be in there. Stafford, Garrett, JSN.
Sam Darnold.
Maybe. Jahmyr Gibbs will probably be in there.
Yeah. McCaffrey.
Maybe. He's probably borderline. Derrick Henry's probably borderline. Yeah. Bijan Robinson probably borderline.
Mm-hmm. Surtain.
Yeah, Surtain will be in there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like one of the other receivers, Jamar Chase.
Jalen Hurts.
Hurts probably more like, and again, probably not right, but he'll probably be like 20 to 25.
He should be. He'll probably be like in the top 15.
I don't understand the point of the exercise anymore. But anyway, that was just a little rant. I did want to bring this up earlier on in the show, and we didn't get to it. Brian Kelly going on TV. How about it?
Whose idea was this?
I know. I mean, talk about somebody who is just not endearing to an audience.
Keep him away from the camera crew. It's all I gotta say.
Hey, it's not that windy.
Yeah, not today. Well, you're in the Mountain West, so you're going to be dealing with a lot of wind.
That is true. Yeah, he's going to be in the Mountain West.
Do you think he'll change his accent?
Yeah.
Yeah, based on where he is.
Play-by-play guy comes in. Brian, we got a great game tonight. What are your thoughts?
Like Kamala Harris.
Man, Boise State is looking great this year.
You think he'll wear a cowboy hat like they do in Yellowstone?
Boise State's not in the Mountain West anymore.
Oh, in the Pac-12.
Right, the Pac-12.
That's right.
San Jose State
North Dakota
is
State,
phenomenal.
North Dakota State, welcome to the Mountain West. Northern Illinois, welcome to the Mountain West.
That's right.
Northern Illinois.
Yep.
Where's Sac State?
I wish I was lying.
They're in the MAC.
They're in the MAC-tion?
The
MAC State?
The Mid-American Conference now has UMass and Sacramento State.
What are we doing?
And Hawaii.
What?
Hawaii's not in the MAC.
No, they're not. They're in the Mountain West.
I was going to say.
Dude, you scared me for it. Imagine Hawaii and Kent State on a Tuesday night.
Hawaii,
feed families, though.
Quite literally, Hawaii is not Mid-American because it's not in the continental United States. It could not be in the MAC.
Yeah. Well, if Brian Kelly calls a Hawaii game, is he going to start like hula dancing live on air?
I don't know. That doesn't seem like his vibe.
Yeah.
Is he going to slam the table
with the water bottle?
Yeah.
It's one of the
I'm in favor of execution.
We have a lot of guys that needs to be executed after tonight.
Yeah.
Which he stole from someone else. It's not his line.
Right. Well, I forget the coach who said it, but the line was really well done the first time. What do you think of what are your thoughts on your team's execution? I'm in favor of it. Like it was a great line and Brian Kelly just butchered it. I think my whole team should be executed. Like it's horrible.
Well, he's a horrible human being. So who hired him? And he's also like a unpaid offensive analyst for Memphis now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's working with Charles Huff.
And Jimbo Fisher, too.
I forgot Charles Huff is at Memphis now.
Yeah.
Man, he's a job hopper.
Well,
he's like
at Southern
3
Miss.
years.
He's like
before that he was at Marshall.
Yeah, in 3 years he's been in 3 different jobs. He's like playing college football dynasty.
It's like Jay Blatt, Kentucky's athletic.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he was he was at Michigan State for what?
1 year.
1 year.
And
that's
then the year before that, he was at Georgia Tech for a year.
Parker, we haven't talked about this yet. Virginia Tech just hired Danny White's brother as their AD.
I know. We need the Battle of Bristol now.
Well,
we got both Whites.
So Danny White was at Brian White's press conference yesterday, and one of the Tech reporters asked, do you think there's going to be a Tech Tennessee home and home at some point? And apparently Danny White basically like got up and tried to leave the press conference at that point. Like it's a joke. He was just like, no, I'm not talking about this right now. But I would be surprised if that doesn't get done at some point.
It should. Yeah. At least in basketball, maybe in football.
Well, no, yeah, that's true.
Because I think it's more likely to put that in a non-conference in November.
Yeah.
Especially if they're matched up in like.
Well, they're playing in women's basketball this year.
Yeah, that's right. I was about to say, if they're matched up in like the SEC ACC challenge, but that's not their scheduling. That's
right. Those are the conferences.
But you know,
ESPN.
I think it would be fun. It would fulfill your requirement of the SEC scheduling, where you have to have one Power 4 opponent in your non-conference, and then you could play. You know, I don't know.
It won't be anytime super soon because Tech has Notre Dame each of the next 2 years on their schedule. So they're not going to play a 9-game ACC schedule plus Notre Dame and Tennessee.
I really hope they're good by then too.
Yeah. I mean, the recruiting class is good.
I would like to see James Franklin versus Marcus Harris.
See, I would
Marcus Freeman.
Marcus like
I would also like
the Titans.
Yeah, I would also like to see Marcus Harris versus James.
Well, I just like to see some like Enter Sandmans that actually mean something again. Like I love going back and watching even during the Fuente era, like Clemson when game day was there and Ohio State the year after Tech beat them in Columbus. Like those were electric atmospheres and the game actually mattered.
And then everyone points to the first
Carolina
one after COVID. Yeah.
I've been seeing those videos. Like every aggregator account just loves posting Enter Sandman videos. You get so many likes on it and interactions. 9-3. This is Mailman West. We were talking about the top 100. He's very specific. He says Big Jeff is about 54 in the NFL top 100. I would say higher than that. I mean, he was a first-team All-Pro player.
I think he was the best defensive tackle in the league last year.
Right, which defensive tackle, probably not going to get as much love, but when you had 11 sacks, you're a first-team All-Pro player. I would say, if we're going to be specific, I'll go like 37.
Okay. I'll go 32. I'll go a little higher.
Okay. Parker, where's Big Jeff?
I'll say in the 40s. I'll split the difference.
Okay, there we go.
Meet in the middle.
We'll check it out in 6 weeks when they finally get down that far in the top 100. They're releasing 2 a day. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. If you want to text or call, our phone line's driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Coming up next, we'll get into the Predators. Again, we mentioned yesterday, it's a big week for Chris MacFarland, and he has already made some more moves, made another trade with his former employer, bringing Jack Drury and prospect Chase Bradley over from the Avs. We'll talk about that. And moving on from some of the homegrown talent, Zach LaRue and Fedor Svechkov, who are going the other way in the deal. 615-737-1025. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly, next man up here on 1025 The Game. Next man up, 102.5, the game, second hour on this Thursday morning. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly, broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Again, not a TD Thursday today. Tehran on a well-deserved vacation. He'll be back next week, but we're happy to push Connor up a day to be Team USA's good luck charm today.
I'm happy to be so, although I don't think it'll work tonight. It might, but and that's not because I think Turkey is better than the U.S. I just think a lot of people are going to sit there.
Right. Neither team has anything to play for. U.S. has won the group. Turkey is eliminated. So it's a 9:00 kick. I'm sure I'll watch the beginning of the game. I may not stay up for the whole thing.
I might, just because, as you and I have talked about before, when you have a soccer match, just about
right.
How long
I mean, it's going to be over
11:25.
maybe even earlier than that, right?
Yeah.
It starts at 90 minutes plus 20-minute halftime. I would say
Plus your hydration
right around
breaks.
11-ish.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. I'm just glad that it doesn't matter, because it gives me the choice to go to bed if I so choose to do so. But big week for the Predators. Tomorrow is the NHL draft in Buffalo, and next week is free agency. But Chris MacFarland already making moves in his first couple of weeks as the president of hockey operations with the Preds. Last week, he made the trade for Ross Colton, coming over from Colorado, and he's going back to the well. Trading with his former employer. Brings in Jack Drury, who is a restricted free agent. He'll need a new deal or a qualifying offer. And also Chase Bradley, a prospect currently in the AHL, coming over from the Avs. Chris MacFarland continuing to go get his guys early on in his career. Trades away Zach Larue and Fedor Svechkov in this move as well. What were your thoughts on this deal, Connor Nute?
Does he have any other GM's phone number?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out tomorrow, I'm sure.
But in all seriousness, I have some questions. I was down on Svechkov. I think last year a lot of people realized he's probably not a superstar NHL player, contrary to popular belief. Not actually. But he had a bad year last year, and it was not promising to see that. I think Larue had some promising moments, but he spent a lot of time last year in Milwaukee, so you didn't really get to see him flourish on the NHL level. I mean, he didn't make the opening day roster. He was in Milwaukee. So I don't know. I thought he had a bit of a higher ceiling than Svechkov did. I think he had more room to grow, but I understand why they moved on. I understand that MacFarland wants to bring in guys he's familiar with, guys that he knows their game, and guys that honestly replace some of the older players on your roster. Like, to me, I think this move solidified that Eric Hall is probably going to hit the free market.
Yeah.
And that's fine, because he's 35, something like that. And he was fine last year, but I think you need guys in that age range. Drury's 26.
Yeah.
Colton is about to turn 30.
Yeah.
I think he's 29.
29, yeah.
And neither of them are going to be superstar players that just elevate you to the next level. No, neither of them are 40-goal scorers. I think Drury had like 10 goals last year.
Yeah, I think it was 10 goals, 17 assists.
That's fine. And then, they got Chase Bradley too, who I don't know anything about.
He was like a borderline top 10 prospect for the Avs. I was looking through an article listing off their farm system, and they went top 10, and he was the next guy mentioned in terms of other prospects for the Avs. So,
okay. So I wonder where he fits in the Milwaukee system.
It's probably a guy talking with Corey yesterday, the equivalent of a 4A player in baseball. That's kind of what the Preds have had a lot of. I would probably qualify Zach Larue and Fedor Svechkov have kind of fallen into that category. I think that's probably what Chase Bradley is. He's probably going to play for you a little bit at the NHL level, but just more depth for you in the organization.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know. The pick, I don't take a lot of stock into that. It's a 2029 pick. So
yeah, they got
another fifth
grader. The Preds got a third back
in
2029.
Another fifth grader to think about. So sorry. Anyway,
that is clipped.
And
all right, being clipped.
Anyways,
moving on.
Anyways, I'm not in love with the move, but I don't hate it either.
It's a meh move.
It's just kind of, hey, this happened. It's not going to put you over the top. It's not going to send you to the bottom of the cellar. So I think it's just kind of a, you take our crap, we'll take yours.
I saw Preds fans upset with this. And Zach Larue, Fedor Svechkov, fan favorites, right? Like Fedor had a great personality. His interviews were always funny, and he was a good guy to have on the team. Fans liked him. Zach Larue was your agitator in the bottom six, who didn't score very much, wasn't very productive offensively, but he was going to get after the other team and get on the forecheck and all that kind of stuff. I understand being upset about it, but I also understand, like, for Chris MacFarland, he's trying to build up this roster to where he wants it to be. And for him, I'm sure that seeing Drury and seeing Ross Colton in Colorado, those were guys that he liked in his bottom six. LaRue and Svechkov they were Poile draft picks, I believe, in the first round. So it's like, for MacFarland, he's got no attachment to these guys. Neither of them produced at a level that it was like, you have to keep them on this team. And for Chris MacFarland to go get guys he's familiar with, who he feels like are going to fit into his vision for this team, I get it. I would like to see him make other moves rather than just taking bottom six guys from the Avalanche, though. This can't be all he does, but I understand the thought process of building up your bottom six with guys that he's familiar with.
I mean, he's swapping spit. That's all it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't, we're going to get someone that takes us to the next level. And like I said, it's not going to be someone that's going to just say the tank is on. That being said, I'd like to see trades made with other teams that are not Colorado. I don't even care if it's, bottom six defensemen or something like that. Just go away from Colorado. I think we've seen enough from them.
Just prove that you can make trades with other teams.
Unless you're going to get Nathan McKinnon on this roster, I don't think we need to see any more Colorado trades. I think we're good.
Yeah, I saw, it might have been Alex Doherty. Somebody tweeted, it was like, when is Chris MacFarland going to realize that there are other players other than the Colorado Avalanche available? It's like he's going to get to pick number 10 and say, I can't believe no one's taken Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah, I'm not frustrated by it. I'm not annoyed by it.
It's so early.
It's so early. We haven't seen what this team is going to look like. I mean, July 1st hits in about a week. And look, I know it's a pretty thin free agent pool. You're not going to get a lot out there. I don't think there's anyone that's going to just completely polish out this roster and turn them into a cup contender. But at the same time, like, you want to see some moves there. And I think you can do that without Colorado's help.
Right. These are, like you said, like swapping spit moves. Like you're building up the bottom of your NHL roster, and Drury also falls in that age bucket that he talked about of guys who can help your team right now, but also aren't 35, right? And that's why you make that move with Colton and you make this move with Drury. That replaces a guy like Eric Haula. So Drury's now your third line center behind O'Reilly and Wood. Maybe Brady Martin gets in there too.
He will.
I would guess.
I think he will.
I would guess Colton probably plays on the wing now. It makes a lot more sense. Chris MacFarland referred to him as a winger in the press release about the trade, and it makes more sense now that you've got Drury that they can maybe play on the same line and have Colton on the wing. So I agree with you. Like, I think that you need to see more from Chris MacFarland, but I also don't have a specific problem with either of the trades he's made so far.
No, there's nothing to gripe about. It's not like this is we just won the President's Trophy last year and now we're selling everything off. No, and it's not like these two prospects, can we even call them prospects at this point?
Well, Drury's an NHLer. Like that's a guy who's, or are you talking about Fedor and
it's not like you're trading Connor Bedard. So I thought about this last night. Over the last 10 years, how many first round picks have the Predators hit on? Not many, if any.
I want to say there are no more first round picks left on this roster beyond Joachim Kimmel. Like, I think he's the last, like the furthest back one that you can find.
And he
could be gone too.
Yeah. He's not particularly impressive as of right now. So we'll see. I don't particularly love it. I don't particularly hate it. It just kind of happened. So it's not something that I think is going to just flat out change the trajectory of the franchise overnight.
Fedor Svechkov and Zach Larue, I think, are players that are valued more here than they are by the rest of the NHL. Like, the fans like them, but they didn't do much. And like Fedor Svechkov is the next in a long line of young centers who have come up and had a lot of hype around them and just have not been able to live up to it. Zach Larue has had his moments, but last year he wasn't healthy. And then when he came up, I mean, he had his moments, but just was never a consistent player for you. Again, I have no problem with this trade. I just would like to see, I would like to see more. And especially seeing the trade market right now, what Buffalo just got for Bowen Byram, what we saw the Brady Tkachuk trade. Like, this might be a good time to sell high on some players. Again, Ryan O'Reilly's the name I keep bringing up. I think you could get a pretty decent haul for Ryan O'Reilly. Now, you're not going to get anything close to what the Sabres got for Byram. You're not getting a top 5 pick for Ryan O'Reilly. You're probably not getting
3 first-round picks from
right.
the Panthers.
You're not getting anything close to the Tkachuk trade, of course. But I think based on what you're seeing, because this free agent class is so thin and there's just not a lot of talent out there, teams are overpaying for proven assets in trades. And I think this might be a chance for Chris MacFarland to take advantage of that and trade away some guys who aren't going to be a part of this team's timeline moving forward.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you look at the free agent market, I would say the player that could probably help you the most is Jason Robertson on the wing, but he's an RFA. So you got to offer sheet him. You're not going to get him automatically.
Or trade for the rights to him.
Right.
Which it has been rumored. We've seen people talk about that and say, hey, the Preds, that's something they could be interested in. You don't know.
I love it.
Maybe there is a big move coming, but that I don't know. We don't really know much about Chris MacFarland at this point as the GM. He's made 2 trades with his former team.
And that's fine. It's 3 weeks into his tenure.
Right.
We don't have to know everything right now.
And Matt makes a good point on the text line. He says, in defense of MacFarland, his time in Colorado makes those players known commodities as opposed to players from other teams with whom he has no familiarity. And I 100% agree with that. Of coming in here, he wants to bring in guys who he feels like can build up the floor of this roster. We just talked about this with the Titans this offseason of building up the floor of the roster where you're not going to be horrible. And for Chris MacFarland, I think he believes that guys like Drury and Colton are going to be able to come in and establish that identity that he wants on this team. Now, neither of them are going to be 50-point guys, right? Like, I think Colton's best year, he was in like the low 40s, and Drury's had 2 27-point seasons. These guys aren't going to be super productive for you, but they can be solid bottom 6 guys.
Yeah.
That you didn't really have before. You traded a lot of those guys away at the deadline. The young guys haven't produced. I don't mind the moves.
You're raising the floor. Like you said, you're replacing prospects and young guys with proven talent.
Yep.
And that's kind of what comes with a new GM. So I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. We will take your thoughts on the Predators. Again, we are getting into the heat of the NHL offseason. Lots of trades this week. The draft tomorrow. Free agency starts next Wednesday. Going to see a flurry of moves, hopefully, for the Predators as well. 615-737-1025, our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. You can also tune in as 1025 The Game will have live coverage of the NHL draft starting tomorrow at 6 p.m. with Willie Donick, Max Hers, and other Preds broadcasters. We'll take you through the end of the first round as the Preds currently have the 10th overall pick. NHL draft coverage on 1025 The Game is presented by Tennessee Brewworks and the UPS store Green Hills. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly, next man up, 1025 The Game. Next man up, 1025, The Game. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly with you. Talking Preds, NHL draft coming up tomorrow. Preds currently have the 10th overall pick, and Chris MacFarland making some moves over the past week, bringing in former Colorado Avalanche players Ross Colton and Jack Drury. Drury is a restricted free agent, also grabbing prospect Chase Bradley in the move yesterday that sent Zach LaRue and Fedor Svechkov back to the Avs. Draft tomorrow, 10th overall pick. I mean, I've searched through some of the mock drafts, and it's throwing darts. Like you have no idea what is going to be left for you on the board, what the Preds are valuing in this draft. But you do think at 10th overall, there's going to be some talented players there that you could select from that hopefully can add to this young core. I did see Alex Doherty at the Tennessean. He put out an article today talking about one specific player. Want to find this here. It's further down than I thought. Let's see. It is Wyatt Cullen is the name. He said it's a forward who has high upside offensive potential, similar to Riker Lee last year. I think that's what the Preds should be looking for, right? You know, yeah, you could get some help on the blue line if you feel like the best prospect there is a defenseman. But I also think that this team, you need to keep building up this young group of goal scorers that are going to help this team, because you're going to need guys like that who can finish around the net that you really haven't had in the last few years, besides Philip Forsberg.
There's not a player in this draft not named Gavin McKenna that is instantly going to help you, come up immediately and help you. It's just not how it is. The NHL draft is the hardest draft to cover, in my opinion, because, we're not watching Russian league hockey.
Right.
So you don't know a lot about most of these players.
And a lot of these players, like some of them have already played college hockey, but not all of them.
Right.
So it's right.
It's kind of like baseball, but even baseball is a little bit easier to cover because you've seen a lot of these guys play college, and the ones that are coming out of high school are probably going to college, or they're going to go play in the minors. So you'll get a little bit more of a feel for them. So I don't know. Hockey's hard for me. Not as a sport to watch, but some of the ins and outs of the league.
Right. Covering, I mean, the NHL draft last year, I felt like it was a little bit easier to cover what the Preds were going to do.
You had a top 5 pick.
Right. You had a top 5 pick, and there was a handful of players that you were talking about. It was Brady Martin, it was Porter Martone, it was James Hagens. Like you were kind of looking at a group of 3 or 4 guys. I think there's probably more like 7, 8 names that are probably in the conversations for the Preds right now. And it all just depends on how the board falls. The top 5 I was looking through look pretty locked in. There are 5 names that in the mock drafts, maybe the order was switched at 4 and 5 with, I think it's Reed and Carroll's are the 2. I may be messing one of those up. But the top 5 seems pretty set. But then like 6, 7, 8, 9 in front of the Preds, it's like 8 different guys. So you're not really going to know what's going to be an option for the Predators really until they get on the clock, especially because that 9th overall pick has now changed hands twice in the last week.
Yeah. I mean, do you go best available at that point?
I mean, I think hockey, I think you always should go best available.
Yeah.
Like,
unless you have a generational prospect, like McKenna's touted as a generational prospect. Bedard was touted as a generational prospect. McDavid, guys like that. So I don't know. It's difficult because I feel like you're right. You should build this core of young goal scorers, and you just took one in the first or the top 5 last. You took 2 in the first round last year.
Yeah.
And you took a defenseman. I could see them getting some help on the blue line, going defense, but at the same time, they're going to be developing for a while, and it's not going to be someone that comes up and helps you immediately. And you have prospects in the defensive department that I think could do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You're right. You're not really going to know what they do until they do it. Like at least last year, we had a general idea.
Right.
Yeah, they're probably going to go center because they want to build that. So,
well, and there were a lot, like last year, there wasn't a, of course, the Islanders had their pick at the top with Schaefer. And he was far and away the best prospect as a D-man. But then it was like a group of 5 or 6 centers that were all kind of like in the same tier, and a couple of wingers in there too. And that's why it was a good conversation last year, because you had those options, and Hagen's was probably the most popular one because he was projected as a possible number one pick ahead of his final year before he was draft eligible. So I like the Brady Martin pick when they made it. I felt like it fit what Barry Trotz wanted to do. But you're going to get your first data point at how Chris MacFarland wants to draft in Nashville now that he is truly the man in charge.
See, I wonder how much of it has actually changed in terms of draft strategy, because he's been here 3 weeks, and
Right.
the scouting and the whole draft strategy for this upcoming draft has been going on all year.
Well, like the intel from the scouts, yes, is all going to be from Barry Trotz's group. Like that, he's not making wide sweeping changes in the scouting department in 3 weeks before the draft, but he is the decision maker now. And you bring in Rob Blake too. Like it's a different group at the top that's going to actually be picking the players. So yes, the intel that they have and the draft boards and all that, I'm sure is based on Barry Trotz's intel and his scouting staff, but we'll see what Chris MacFarland values by who he actually picks.
That's fair. I was thinking about it in terms of, well, when the Titans hired Borgonzi, he was probably still using the Rand Carthon intel.
Well, I mean, it was basically all of John Robinson's scouting staff still. Rand didn't really change anything.
Yeah, he didn't change anything in the franchise either, so... God.
Did you see the clip of him talking about Jeffrey Simmons
on CBS?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
He said basically like he's had to go through a lot with that organization and the struggles that it's dealt with.
He went through you.
Yeah, that's exactly what Joe Rexrode said. He goes, "You were the struggles in the organization." I thought that was hilarious. Merlin Mount Juliet, with a general point here on the draft, says the lottery system just allows good teams to get the best players most of the time, and rebuilding teams take years and lots of trades and lots of luck. It just seems like they should change things about the lottery and the draft system to help teams that are way behind. Yeah, lottery systems in all of sports, you're never going to get it perfect. I think the way the NBA has changed it is bad.
It's really bad.
I don't like it. That it's the 1, 2, and 3, the worst teams get worse odds than 4, 5, and 6. I just think it's stupid. Like the NFL still does it that the worst team gets the number one pick, no lottery system. And I think it works. Now the NFL, it's harder to specifically tank. Like in the NBA, the trust the process Sixers, like you could clearly see they were not fielding a competitive NBA team. I think for the NHL, it should be formatted to make it easier for the bad teams to get the top players. Like New York jumping everybody to get the number one pick this year, and Toronto just having a down year, and they're going to end up getting Gavin McKenna out of it. Like I do agree with Merle that it just makes it hard for teams that are struggling to actually get the best players.
Well, I think it caters to bigger markets. Like Toronto is probably the biggest hockey market there is.
Yep.
They get the number one pick. And New York's a pretty massive market. And I'm not saying the NHL draft lottery is just completely rigged, but I do think there are some aspects to it that could be deemed as pinned towards more competitive teams.
Yeah. Trevor says the Sharks have been extremely lucky in the last few years getting top picks, and that's very true.
That is true.
I mean, they're going to
number 2.
They're going to be and number 9 now. They're going to be loaded in a couple of years with Macklin Celebrini as the centerpiece. Toronto, they're going to get Gavin McKenna. I guess the question becomes, what do they do with Austin Matthews? Like, do they want to move on from him? I probably wouldn't, but given what we've seen in the trade market, Austin Matthews, I mean, you
get a lot.
They might just give you the entire franchise. Like, hey, you can own the Dallas Stars if you just give us Austin Matthews.
Yeah. I'll tell you who won't be in on him right here.
Yeah, I would agree.
It doesn't make sense. I'd love Austin Matthews here. Olympic hero, Austin Matthews, American hero.
Yeah.
But you would give up way too much for a struggling franchise, and I don't think it would put you over the top.
No, I mean it's a star player, and you've been looking for a star player, but
it's like the Heat. Like I don't think Giannis puts the Heat over the top.
Well, and I also if you have the opportunity to get Austin Matthews and it's at a price that you think is fair, great. But I just think that if he's going to go somewhere, it's going to be
a competitor.
It's going to be a bigger market, a competitor that's going to go try and win a cup right now. What do you think about the NHL expansion? Possibly going to Houston or Austin?
Well, you know me, I'm a traditionalist and I don't like change.
I just don't get going beyond 32. Like
Yeah.
we haven't seen the NFL go beyond 32 yet, and they will at some point, but it's just not an even number.
I don't know. Well, I don't know how much of a audience you're gonna have in Houston for hockey. Yeah, like we've seen it in Dallas, and they've got a decent fan base there, but we all know what kind of a state Texas is. That's a football state.
Yeah.
That's what they care about. So if you have 2 hockey teams in the state of Texas, how many people are gonna care?
No, that's a good point. And I saw somebody suggest Toronto should get a second team, and
I think I'd rather that.
I mean,
than
if
Houston.
you got 2 in New York, you got 2 in LA, Anaheim, but I think that could work. Put one another team up there in Toronto.
Let's have another team in Nashville. How's
Yeah,
that
how
sound?
about Nashville, a 2 hockey team town?
We'll put one in the east.
Yeah, there you go. The cross the Cumberland rivalry.
They play in the same.
I heard
stadium.
Mount Juliet's looking for a hockey team.
There you go. There
Mount
you go.
Juliet, whatever. Yeti.
The Mount Juliet
Mount Juliet
Yeti.
Yeti.
Yeah,
the
go to
Murfreesboro.
court again.
Yeah.
615-737-1025 is the phone number. When we come back, Nolan Smith, the head coach of Tennessee State basketball, is going to join us. Aaron Nkrumah went undrafted last night, but did sign a deal with the Denver Nuggets. We'll talk to Coach Smith about that, his draft story, and much more. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly, next man up. 102.5 The Game. Next man up, 1025, the game. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly. Basketball.
Want to hear some sad, not news, but a sad anniversary?
What is it?
On this day, 17 years ago, the legendary Michael Jackson passed away.
Oh, man.
That's the first death I remember where I was.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, that was the first one that really, like,
I was 5, but I remember it.
yeah.
We were in Atlanta at the time. We were at Six Flags in Atlanta. I remember.
Yeah.
I was 5, and we turned on the news in the hotel, I think, and that was obviously the breaking news of the day.
Yeah.
That's the first one I remember.
Yeah, I agree with you there. That's one of the first big, like, celebrity deaths that actually hit me, like, that I can remember. So, man, crazy, 17 years.
Yeah. So you got to play his music today.
Yeah, Parker, that'll be your job. But love the John Tesh there. Again, will always remind me of the Saturday Night Live skit, the Jason Sudeikis.
Maybe a top 3 sports anthem.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Willie yesterday. We rotate who has the playlist every day on the show. So Willie yesterday was doing like old sports themes. I forgot how good NHL and NBC was.
Yeah, that's a great one. Of course, March Madness is up there.
SEC on CBS. I refuse to call it Big Ten. And that one, I mean, that's gonna be up there.
Round Ball Rock is one of the best for sure.
I missed the old NBA on ESPN, which was great.
Yeah, that is
the
true.
New one sucks.
Yeah,
NHL on ESPN's awesome. Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, it's not dun, 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 dun.
Hot take. Not a big Monday night football fan.
Yeah, I'm not
traditional.
A huge fan of that, but
Sunday night's my favorite for sure.
Yeah, Sunday night's a good one. Trevor says he died on my birthday. Well, happy birthday, Trevor. Happy birthday to the suit as well.
Yeah,
it's Chase McCabe's
I forgot
birthday.
to text him. Thanks for reminding me.
Happy birthday to Chase McCabe, who is getting some much needed time off today, I believe.
Yeah,
and tomorrow.
I think he's off watching some ball.
Yeah,
somewhere.
it'll be Nick Frazier on with a. Lines now. Let's go to them. Head coach Nolan Smith of Tennessee State men's basketball joins us now. Coach, thanks so much for taking some time. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank y'all for having me.
Well, Coach, last night, disappointing. Aaron Nkrumah was not drafted in the second round of the NBA draft, but has signed a deal with the Denver Nuggets. What was kind of your message to him when he didn't hear his name called last night?
Just continue to prove people wrong. You know, I think it's been part of his journey, part of his story. And I told him it's just the beginning. I said, go destroy NBA Summer League. That's the exact text that I sent him. And that's the mindset I think he's going to have going into it. You know, I think the year he had, the pre-draft that he had, the combine numbers that he was putting up, Summer League is the exact same thing. So I think he has the opportunity now to go. He's a hooper. So I know he's ready to go out there and show every single team now to audition for all the teams that passed up on him to show them what he can really do.
And one of the legends of your program is Robert Covington, who was also an undrafted free agent and ended up stringing together a really nice NBA career. Is that a story that Aaron can really pull from in his journey as well to try and build his NBA journey?
100%. 100%. I think that's definitely something he looks to. Rob has been a mentor to all the players, but especially AK, being that he lives out here, so he's always in practices, and he actually took him under his wing during the pre-draft process with workouts and making sure he was taking care of his body. So I know they're going to lean on each other. AK is going to lean on him for advice and basically how to go into the NBA and carve out his niche.
Coach, I'm sure you've been asked this many times before, but obviously you were drafted out of Duke University and in the NBA draft. So what was that process like for you? What do you remember about that?
Oh man, it's a grind. It's a grind to show yourself, to show the NBA front offices and scouts and everyone who you really are. And it's a process where you have to compete. You have to go at guys. Guys are going to come at you. I was in a very unique position where the guys that I really wanted to go against and show that I was better than the Kemba Walkers, Jimmer Fredette, I forget my guy's name from Kentucky, but there were so many guys that were doing only individual workouts. So I was sitting in that spot in the draft where I was kind of in a comfortable position, but not too comfortable. And everybody behind me was trying to get me. And those were the guys I had to see in the draft to basically still go where I went, which was the 21st pick. But, it's hoops. You're tired. You're traveling. You're on planes. Your planes are getting delayed, canceled. You're getting in at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and having to go into a gym in a place that you've dreamed of being and put your best foot forward.
Coach, speaking of Duke, Cam Boozer drafted a couple of days ago at pick number 3 to the Memphis Grizzlies. What do you think of that pick? Do you think he fits Memphis?
I think he fits anywhere that he goes. I think he's a winner. He's got the pedigree. Being the son of an NBA player, he knows what it takes. I don't think he was worried about wherever he went. I think he's going to go in there and help change the culture down in Memphis. Put that winning culture into everyone in that building. He's a professional. He's going to show up every single day ready to work. So I know he's excited. I know their family's ready to go.
We're talking with head coach Nolan Smith of Tennessee State men's basketball. Coach, Aaron, even going undrafted, seeing the jump that he was able to make this year and put himself in that conversation to be drafted last night, how much can that do for your program to continue to build the recruiting base and get talented players in here who know that they can take their next step into professional basketball from Tennessee?
Yeah, I mean, I think it does a lot for our program. It obviously helps boost us. But again, when these players come in here, getting a guy like AK to buy in, that's what I told all the front offices that I was able to speak with. You're going to get a winner. You're going to get a guy that basically helped set my culture this year because he was a competitor, but he always talked with his teammates about, hey, look, we have a job to do. Our job is to win. One of my favorite sayings is, if we win, we all win. And AK was basically the leader and the voice behind that, which is why it's no surprise that he's in the position that he's in. He's locked in and focused on winning while also producing and affecting winning. For the players that are coming, they know they're going to come in and play for guys, that have worked with a lot of NBA guys, between myself, Vince Taylor, DeMar Johnson, Delonte Hill. We've worked with a lot of NBA guys. 3 of us have been at that level. I was there not that long ago, but kind of long ago. I guess that's why they call me Uncle now. But we still know what it is and we know what it takes to get to that level. So I think it definitely helps us in recruiting, helps us get the guys, and being in Nashville doesn't hurt at all.
Right. Coach, thanks so much for taking some time with us this morning. Wishing you the best of luck as you prepare for next season, and hope to talk to you again soon.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
Head coach Nolan Smith joining us from Tennessee State. Aaron Nkrumah, just barely. I was keeping track of it last night and looking at the best available board. He was right there as the picks were going off. I think probably would have been one of the next couple. It's just tough. 60 picks in the NBA draft. That's
only
it.
2 rounds. Yeah.
Right.
I had to contain my excitement there because he said, I can't remember my man. From Kentucky. It's Brandon Knight.
Yeah.
Well, there were 2, Brandon Knight and Enes Kanter. But Enes Kanter did not play that year because he was ruled ineligible. So
was that the same draft as Eric Bledsoe too?
No,
or was that
was the year prior. This was 2011. So it was Kyrie Irving was the first pick.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I think James Harden was in that draft.
No, Harden was like, let's
see.
8.
I'll pull it up. Jonas Valanciunas, Kemba Walker, Klay Thompson. That's who I'm thinking of.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Jimmy Butler out of Marquette was the 30th pick. Who was number 2? Derek Williams.
Oh, Utah?
Minnesota.
Who am I? Derek Favors is who I was thinking
Favors.
of. Yeah. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. Great stuff from Nolan Smith. Although Big Joe hates saying stuff. Great insights from Nolan Smith.
Good job.
He's always fun to talk to. I mean, former NBA player, former national champion at Duke, and of course, leading Tennessee State to a NCAA tournament berth for the first time in 30 years this past season in his first year. So great to hear from Coach Smith. We'll react to what he said. We'll also talk Tyler Nickel went in the draft to the NBA champs. He is going to be a New York Knick.
It's still Tyler Nickel with a K.
Yes.
At the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Tyler Nickel. And also Jacoby Gillespie went out of Tennessee last night.
And Otega got drafted.
Yeah, we can talk about that as well. 615-737-1025. We'll wrap up hour number 2 after this. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly, next man up. 1025 The Game. Next man up, 102.5 The Game. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly with you.
I just love Michael Jackson. Great stuff.
Banger.
Some not so great stuff too. Of
Yeah.
course.
Good music.
Yep. We don't need to.
We're not going to get into
further
any more of
into
that,
this.
but I love Michael Jackson, the singer and the performer,
There you go. Sure, the text line will love that.
especially one guy.
Great
Or girl.
hearing from Nolan Smith, and obviously so impressive what he was able to do at Tennessee State this past year, taking over late in the offseason and building that team into an NCAA tournament squad, and now bringing in another wave of transfers and players who can hopefully help that team continue to have success. But sadly, Aaron Nkrumah not taken in the draft last night. He goes undrafted, gets a deal with the Nuggets, and I love that that Robert Covington is still such a huge asset for Tennessee State basketball, and I'm sure that his experience as an undrafted free agent is going to be able to help a guy like Aaron Nkrumah hopefully build an NBA career just like Rocco did.
Yeah, Robert Covington was an NBA 2K.
I
rebuild
loved
staple.
Robert Covington in 2K.
You put him in at small forward, and he doesn't have to be the best, but he's just a glue guy.
Calling a three.
Yep.
Robert
knocks him
Covington
down.
was the best.
No, I love when programs use big players like that as ambassadors and marketing tools. Like, obviously a different level, but Kentucky uses that all the time with players that have come and gone from that university. Virginia Tech football does that too. Like, I'm sure they use Tyrod Taylor and Michael Vick as guys that are kind of just marketing tools for the university. So I feel like Tennessee State should take advantage of that. Robert Covington is arguably the greatest athlete to ever come out of that university. So I love that you're using him in that way, and I love that he is so welcoming to that idea.
Right. I called one of their games back in February, and he was out there. He was sitting courtside. And I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
man, it's cool to see him, come back to his university that helped him build the career that he had with most notably the Sixers and the Trailblazers, I believe, were his biggest teams, but he stopped a couple of other places. Also did see a couple more local players drafted last night. Jacoby Gillespie from the Vols goes, where did he end up getting picked?
San Antonio.
San Antonio. So he's going to join that team. Second round picks, it's no guarantee you even make the squad. The NBA is the hardest league in the world to make. But he is going to be on that Spurs team. He was picked, if I can bring
41st. Or 42nd, one of the two.
Yes, 42nd overall. Then 5 picks later, Tyler Nickel goes to to the Knicks, and I completely missed too. Felix Okpara went 1 pick ahead of Tyler Nickel to the Magic. So lots of Tennessee and Vandy players.
He was traded to Washington.
Sorry, yeah.
And the SEC decided it would be a great idea to post fee to DC. Who the hell has ever called Felix Okpara fee?
29 of the 30 picks in the second round last night were traded.
That's crazy. And they all wore the wrong hats, I'm sure.
Well, any of the trades that had happened previously, like hadn't happened in the last few weeks, they got to wear the right hats. It's just based on like when the league year starts, and it's so stupid.
It's dumb.
But yes, the only pick that was actually made by the team that held it based on their record is the 50th pick. Jaden Bradley went to the Toronto Raptors. Every other pick was traded at least once.
Yeah, it's wild. The NBA, the draft is so weird because I don't really understand the value that draft picks hold in the NBA. Like, it's inconsistent. Like, one day a first round pick is the prestige of the NBA, and then the next day you see 3 of them flipped for a role player. I don't really get it. So NBA is a weird league.
I mean, the second round of the NBA draft, it's a way to get your foot in the door. And of course, we've seen lots of success stories out of the second round. Draymond Green was a second round pick.
Draymond Green.
Nikola Jokic was a second round pick. He was drafted during a Taco Bell commercial.
Jalen Brunson
was a second round pick. So you've seen success, but it's so difficult. Like in every other league, second round pick is big time, right?
Yeah.
Like you made it second round. That means you are a huge asset for the team moving forward.
You're plug and play.
Second round picks are kind of like, I don't want to use the word throwaways because it's like, those guys get the opportunity to get in the building, and hearing your name called in the draft is a lifelong goal for all of these guys. But it doesn't guarantee anything for you in terms of making the team, right? Like being a second round pick you've got to work hard. It's like being a 5th or a 6th or a 7th round pick in the NFL draft.
Well, it's like what coach just said. You're a 2nd round pick or you're undrafted.
Right.
It just means you have to work harder in the summer to make that roster.
Right.
And even then, you might have the opportunity to go play for the G League. That doesn't mean that the NBA career is over. That just means it's prolonged. You're in a purgatory of some sorts. You still get to play professional basketball.
And there's so many opportunities for these guys to play pro, right?
Just
going
don't come
overseas. But the NBA, I truly believe, and I don't think it's an argument, like it's the hardest league in the world to play in. There's only at any given time like 450 players on rosters.
I mean, 15 per team.
Right. That was the math. 15 times 30. Yeah. 450 players. I guess the WNBA is even harder to make. But in terms of the 4 major sports leagues, like you got 53 per NFL team. Now there's a lot of football players, but that's what, like 1,700 guys who are on NFL rosters to start the season.
Plus you have practice squads. Not that they're on the roster, but that's still guys that are technically in the NFL. So.
Hockey, it's what, 22,
I think.
22 on the roster. So, that's still, it's very difficult, but that's still like 700, 800 guys. This is the NBA is tough. And you're right. It's like, if you're a 2nd round pick or you're undrafted, you got to go into summer league and you've got to impress, and you go into training camp and hopefully you're able to make the team. So we're rooting for all the local guys around here. Saw 3 Vols get drafted, Tyler Nickel from Vandy, and then Aaron Nkrumah from Tennessee State going to be an undrafted free agent with the Nuggets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's exciting. Your Parker's best friend, Robbie Avila, was just signed by the Lakers.
Oh,
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Billiken legend.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, baby. Let's go.
White chocolate.
Going back to LA.
White chocolate.
Well, that was Jason
Williams.
Yeah.
The White Mamba is what's his name?
Brian Scalabrine.
Brian Scalabrine. Yes. Great. One of the greatest lines ever is I may suck, but I'm closer to Kobe than you are to me. Like that was awesome. It's like I play in the NBA. I may suck. I may not be a good NBA player, but I'm way closer to Kobe than you are to me.
He's right. I mean, we'll never make the NBA.
Right. No, it's very true. And Hokie got drafted as well. Toby Lawal. He is just a ridiculous athlete. He had the highest 40 time or highest vertical jump in the combine this year.
Highest 40 time.
Highest 40 time. Yeah. He ran like a 7. No, his vert is insane. Like some of the dunks he had over the past 2 years at Tech, like head fully above the rim. He is insane.
Yeah. I mean, guys like that end up kind of thriving in the NBA. It's all about athleticism because, I mean, defensively, you still have to be sound, but it's not as much of a defensive league as it used to be. So athleticism and scoring is kind of what teams are looking for. So maybe he could stick.
That's kind of in round 2. I think that's what you're looking for a lot is shooters and guys who are athletes who you can hopefully mold into better basketball players, right? Yep. That's why you see a lot of the dunk contest participants. They're just 2nd round picks.
Or G League guys.
I'd love to see Toby Lawal in the dunk contest.
Mac McClung versus Toby Lawal.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
615-737-1025 is the phone number. Coming on next, we'll talk some more Titans in the final hour of the show. We'll also get you ready for the USA and Turkey tonight in the final group stage game of the World Cup tonight at 9 p.m. Central Time. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly, next man up, 102.5 The Game. Next man up, 102.5, the game, final hour on your Thursday morning. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly, broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. I did want to mention that Chris MacFarland is speaking to the media right now, but I don't believe it's being streamed, so we will keep you updated if there is any news that comes out of this. Again, the draft is tomorrow, so going to be talking about that, some of the moves that he's made, but we'll let you know if anything notable comes out of that press conference. But I did want to get back into the Titans here a little bit. Tight end U is in town this week. Taylor Swift singing over at what bar were they at the other night?
I don't know. I don't care.
I think it was one off Broadway.
I saw the Tight end U bus. Oh wait, it was the Pinnacle. That's where it was. It wasn't a bar. It was the Pinnacle in Nashville Yards, I think. But I did see the bus with the Tight End U branding going to Vanderbilt the other day.
That's cool.
Gunnar Helm is a part of Tight End U once again, and I wanted to just have the conversation of what kind of jump we feel like he can take. I know we've talked before about maybe the Brian Dable offense isn't the best in terms of production for tight ends, but production doesn't have to be the only measure of Gunnar Helm taking a big step. I think just being a key piece in this offense for third downs and the red zone and making critical plays for Cam Ward is going to be the way that Gunnar Helm takes a step in year two that maybe we didn't see consistently in his rookie season.
He has to be Cam Ward's best friend. I think him and Wan'Dale Robinson, I've told you before, I think are going to be capable and available in the middle of the field. We know how well Cam Ward works across the middle of the field. We know that he can be accurate. We know that he likes to look that way. So if the deep ball is not working for Cam, and let's say we're having this conversation that we had 2 weeks ago about his accuracy issues, and we're having that in September, that's where Gunnar Helm is going to step up, because you're going to see a lot of mid-range stuff with him. You're going to see a lot of goal line stuff with him. And that's very important, because a tight end is a young quarterback's best friend.
Yeah.
I like the idea that in last year's draft, they married the two. You drafted a quarterback, and although you drafted him in the 4th round, you drafted a tight end.
Yeah.
So I like the idea that they've married the two. Now that Chigakonko is gone,
yeah,
you have more of a traditional tight end in Gunnar Helm. And we know Chigakonko was big and fast, but he wasn't, your traditional blocker or
yeah.
Like that. And I'm not saying Gunnar Helm is elite at either of those things. Like we've talked about with him before, he's not particularly elite at anything, but he's good at everything.
Right.
So I think that's where his role lies. I think he's going to take that tight end 1 spot. I hope he runs with it. And, I think maybe the Brian Daboll offense, although it doesn't utilize the tight end as much, maybe that will be better suited for a, traditional tight end like Gunnar Helm is.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to see him have like a 700-yard season this year.
Yeah. 400-500 maybe.
We looked through like old Brian Dable offenses, whether it was Dawson Knox with the Bills or last year with Theo Johnson in New York. Talented players, but weren't featured in that offense. The offense pretty much ran through your number 1 wide receiver, whether that's Malik Neighbors or Stephon Diggs, and your slot guy, Cole Beasley or Wan'Dale Robinson. So I think that's probably the way it's going to go. The higher volume of your targets is going to go to Tate and Robinson and some of the wide receivers. Gunnar Helm needs to get in the end zone, though. Like that's the one thing that I want to see is Gunnar Helm needs to be a red zone threat. We saw it in some of the preseason, the big catch that he made at the end of the half in Atlanta. We even saw it sometimes later on in the season, but he only scored twice last year. I would like to see, even if he is only getting, 50, 60 catches for 450, 500 yards, I'd like to see like 6, 7, 8 touchdowns for Gunnar Helm this year. I think that will show the growth that he's made as a threat for this Titans offense.
A goal line threat. And I think that's where he would work the best, is if you can find a way to cut him across on the outside on the goal line or work him in the inside or even as a blocker. But I think that his role for the Titans is going to be in short down distances. And that's fine. That's typically what a tight end does. Not every tight end is going to be George Kittle or Travis Kelce that gets yards after catches like that. And I think Gunnar Helm can be that on some level, not to the elite level that they are, but I think he's more served as a goal line, mid-range, short down distance guy. And that's fine. That's what a tight end is used for. And if you want guys that are going to get yards after the catch, you have that in your receiver room. You have that in Wan'Dale Robinson. You hopefully have that in Carnell Tate. You hopefully have that in Calvin Ridley this year.
Yep.
You have guys built around this offense that do different things. Gunnar Helm's role, if I were the play caller, would be down in distance. He would be short gain. He would be goal line stuff. I think you can utilize him to that way. And I think that's exciting to think about.
Last year, we went through the stats, and Malik Neighbors wasn't playing, so obviously take that with a grain of salt that they were missing the key cog in their offense. But last year, Theo Johnson only had about 50 catches for 500 yards, but he led the team in touchdowns. And that's kind of what I want to see from Gunnar Helm. You guys have been out there in practice, and Gunnar Helm, I think, is going to get overshadowed by some of the other storylines. Of course, Cam Ward, Carnell Tate. But it does seem, when I've heard things about Gunnar Helm, it's been very positive from what we saw in the offseason. Did you guys pick anything up from what you've seen with him on the practice field so far?
It's him and Wan'Dale Robinson that are Cam Ward's best friends. Like I've been telling you, they're the guys that work across the middle. They're the guys that work those short range routes. And that's not to say that he's never going to target Carnell Tate, which is just absolutely not true, because Carnell Tate, as I've told you, has to be Cam Ward's number one receiver.
Yeah.
But I think it's okay to have Wan'Dale Robinson and Gunnar Helm be those reliable safety blankets for Cam Ward. And in unpadded June practices, that was kind of the case for those two. So in terms of how the offense runs, and I know that the offense was probably called more situationally based just because we're in a June practice and there's no pads. But I think that's kind of how this offense is going to flow.
Yeah.
In that if you need a first down pickup or something like that in short routes, Gunnar Helm's your guy. If you want to move the chains and you want to get the ball downfield as quickly as possible, Chim DK and Carnell Tate are probably going to be your guys. So I think there's a lot of, maybe not elite depth, but there's a lot of depth to this offense, and that's something you couldn't say last year.
Right. Parker, any thoughts on what you've seen from Gunnar Helm?
I think he just looks smooth out there and everything that he does. I think when he's running routes, and most of it, like Connor said, is going to be the short to intermediate stuff. I think he looks smooth as a blocker, although, that's just in the individual drills that I've seen. So the pads are not on, so we don't really have a good grasp. But in the individual drills that he's done, he looks really smooth. So I can see him being that safety blanket for Cam Ward this year. Tight ends are very reliable, and quarterbacks love hitting them in the NFL. So he looks smooth, and I'm excited to see him once training camp rolls around.
615-737-1025 is our phone number if you want to text or call. Our phone line's driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Again, tight end U is in town this week. Gunnar Helm working out with pretty much all the tight ends from the NFL. There's some guys out there whose names I've never heard of before, but George Kittle and Travis Kelce, invite them all.
It's a very inclusive position group.
It is. The George Kittle has revolutionized the tight end. He's made tight ends cool again.
I love tight ends. The football players.
615-737-1025. We'll take your thoughts on Gunnar Helm. What can he bring in 2026 after an impressive rookie season? You'd like to see him take another jump, and maybe some of the work that he's putting in this week over at Vanderbilt will help him do just that. We'll get to some of your texts coming up next. Again, 615-737-1025 is the phone number. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly, next man up, 1025 The Game.
Is this Laney?
It's Ella.
Oh.
I learned this the other day. This is old Ella.
She sounds a little different here.
Yeah, she does.
She
She
sounds
doesn't
like
have.
Laney.
She doesn't have like the
rasp.
the twang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a little bit of twang.
I don't know. I don't know what it is about Ella. I can't get there.
You're not a big Ella fella?
You just don't like music. That's the only answer.
No, well,
You might be worse than Corey Curtis.
Well, apparently all the music
No.
I like is controversial.
Well, yeah, Corey Curtis might be on the right side of history here based on what our text line 615-737-1025.
And by that we mean one guy or girl. We don't discriminate.
Let's go to the text line, which is talking football now. We're talking about Gunnar Helm. 9070 says Titans need to get Michael Mayer. And I would disagree. I think it's kind of redundant with Gunnar Helm. Michael Mayer's a good player, but I think you're getting kind of a similar package to Gunnar Helm if you take Michael Mayer.
I mean, the reason Michael Mayer is not going to be on the Vegas roster is because he got lapped by Brock Bowers.
I think they could keep him on the roster. Like, look at what the Bears are doing with Loveland and Cole Kmet.
Or the Bills did it with Connect and Kincaid.
Yeah. And now Mayer and Bowers, I think, are more similar players than those groups. Like Kmet is more your traditional tight end. Knox is more your traditional tight end. While Kincaid and Loveland are kind of your Eli Stowers weapons who just line up at the tight end position a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But Michael Mayer could be a trade chip. I like the player. I just don't think it would make sense here for the Titans.
No, it'd be redundant, especially not that they're particularly elite, but you've got Gunnar Helm, you've got DMR, you've got
Darren Cannon, the mechanic,
and then you just traded or you just signed Daniel Bellinger.
Yeah, and Kylan Granson too. Like that's a loaded room, and they had the opportunity to go upgrade at the tight end position if they wanted to. Like David Njoku was out there for a long time. There was another tight end who was on the market who was at least moderately intriguing, but they decided they wanted to stick with Gunnar Helm and have him be tight end one. I don't think it benefits you to bring in somebody who's going to take away snaps from Gunnar Helm.
No, it doesn't. If you're going to truly ride with Gunnar Helm at tight end one, then I don't think you touch the tight end room whatsoever. I think you're fine.
Here's a tweet that Trevor sent in, and this is interesting. So Warren Sharp Football on X, put out there most targets in teams' opening script in 2025. Now, the top of this list is probably the 5 best receivers in football: Jamar Chase, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Puka Nacua, Justin Jefferson. Those are your top 5. But right after that, tied for 6th, Wan'Dale Robinson.
I'm telling you, man, he's productive. He's not the best receiver in the league. He's not the tallest. He's not the biggest. He's not the most skilled, but he gets stuff done. Like he finds his way open. I told you when I saw it, he made a contested catch around 3 people.
Yeah.
He's impressive.
Yeah.
And I want to see him when pads come on, and I want to see him against real NFL talent. No offense to some of the guys out there, but you're probably not going to make the roster. I want to see him against other teams. He will be certainly one when we get to joint practices that I'm looking at, because I want to see how he works against other teams.
Yeah, I really like the way Mike Borgonzi has built up the weapons. Are you reading the text line?
Currently, yes.
Dustin from Hopkinsville's getting after you.
No, Dustin. No, I am not.
We don't need to read that, but
that doesn't do anything to me, though.
Is that an off-air conversation?
It's an off-air conversation.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
That's what with Dustin, you have to screen his text. You can't just start reading them sometimes. This one is FCC safe, but probably this is a family show.
I thought we were friends, Dustin. Why are you coming after me?
Dustin's the one of a few people who has stuck with the Connie nickname for you.
Yeah, well, Adam won't let it go.
Kitty Cat Connie.
He won't let it
go.
go.
Adam's been calling it.
He won't let it go.
Let's go. I'm glad.
He won't let it go, but D-Mace is trying to start Nute, which I'm okay with.
I kind of like that.
It's like a hockey nickname.
Yeah.
I would say, but he likes it. And I will take any nickname bestowed upon me by the great Derek Mason. So
yeah, that's true. If D-Mace gives you a nickname, it has you can't deny it, right?
It's been a week and he's still doing it.
Nute.
So
I like it.
Adam won't drop Connie, but
Kitty Cat Connie.
Yeah, it's like Swarley, which right after that, I went home and watched that episode.
It's that's Crazy Eyes is the name of that episode, I want to say.
Yes, because that's the one
where Marshall's trying to get back on the horse.
Yeah.
That's my my talent, and I've I realized this last year, is if you give me like the plot of a How I Met Your Mother episode, I can probably tell you the name and tell you within 3 episodes where it falls in a season.
See, I it's become my comfort show this summer, and I started in season 3 because that's when it starts to really get good. And I watched The Tricycle the other day.
That's a good one.
Which is
a good one. I am that's the show I've watched the most in my life, I would say.
I would say top 3 sitcom of all time, in my opinion.
It's that one is hit or miss. Like, some people love it. I'm one of those people. It's one of my favorites. Some people just can't get into it. And
it's very emotionally driven.
Yeah, that is true.
Especially the last season.
It's one of the few sitcoms that has like a running plot, right? Like, The Office is more of just a sitcom. And yeah, there's plots within seasons, Jim and Pam and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not like going towards anything, right? Seinfeld is a show about nothing, and they famously have said that. It's like
there is no plot.
There is no plot, but it's great, and it's like it's same as Larry David and why am I blanking on his show? Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like which
is awesome.
It's one-off shows that are awesome but don't have a plot. I think some people prefer that over How I Met Your Mother, where it's like you got the running.
Well, you get the whole slap bet thing.
Yeah,
which is
Slapsgiving.
Yeah.
One of the best episodes in the show.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you've got the playbook. You've got the whole. There's a ton of things that you just have to be a part of.
Yeah, it's a very referenceable show.
It's very quotable.
As we learned with Swarley. Somehow we've gotten completely off. I was mid thought on no, it's Dustin's. Dustin, it's your fault for sending that text. What was I saying? Oh, Mike Borgonzi. I really like the way Mike Borgonzi, of course, with the help of Brian Dable and Robert Saleh, has built this offensive weapons group. Maybe you could have done more at running back, but I do think with Helm, with the wide receivers you brought in, Carnell Tate, Wan'Dale Robinson, I think you've given Cam Ward lots of options. The question, as we've continued to say, is the offensive line. And did he do enough there? Probably not. We're going to see how it plays out when they get on the field.
Yeah, it's interesting. I really think a lot of it is hinging on the quarterback play. We'll see. And, if 2 weeks ago is any indication of how Cam Ward is going to play, we are all doomed and we're all going to die. But I think you're going to see some improvement. You're going to see some gelling. Let's not act like in this 6-week period, they're not still playing football. They're out there training.
Right.
They're getting together. Maybe it's not under the team umbrella and at a practice facility, but they're going to fields. They're going to trainers. They're getting work in.
Yeah.
So it's not just hey, let's go on a 6-week vacation and not touch a football. No, it's a 6-week break from NFL sponsored training.
Right. But you can be sure that Cam Ward and his receivers are out there tossing the rock somewhere, whether it's here, whether they go on a trip. Like people made a whole big deal over Will Levis taking everybody to Cabo 2 years ago.
They probably played there.
No, that was what they did. They went to go practice, but it was also a vacation for team bonding. I don't know what Cam Ward and they have planned, but I'm sure that there is plans in place for them to go and get working.
It's not TSSAA dead period where you just can't do anything sports related.
No, you just can't be on the field in the facility.
Right.
So going to be an important 6 weeks here. We are, I guess we're getting close to a month away from training camp now. So it'll be here before we know it.
I know.
Let's get to some thoughts on the text line. WB and Thompson Station says, don't forget to mention with all this optimism around the Titans, my biggest optimism is that Borgonzi is now a real football guy, keeping the cupboard filled so we don't talk about injuries all the time. Obviously, giving good advice come draft time. If Amy stays away, he's going to keep players there for this coaching staff. Airbase seems so high. That might be talk to text. But I agree. Like Borgonzi, as we talked about with the Preds, Chris MacFarland gives a lot of optimism to the direction of the Predators because he feels like a competent guy who is in here to lead the organization. I feel the same way about Mike Borgonzi. Now, you need to see results sooner rather than later after winning 6 games over 2 years. But I do think Mike Borgonzi specifically and what he's done should give the fan base optimism that they're heading in the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, you got some forward momentum going here. Whether or not that carries over this season, we'll see. This is kind of I don't want to say lull period season. This is the transitional season.
Yeah.
You want to see some growth from last year. I mean, obviously you don't want to go out and win 3 games and call it a season. You want to see some growth I don't expect them to be playoff contenders, but this is kind of the season that I think you take from last year, move on through this year, and then into the stadium next year where hopefully you're competitive. So this is the transitive season.
Yes, this is the season where you have to start seeing wins. And that doesn't mean playoffs, but I've said it the entire time. Win total is kind of a gray area. Like you can have a season with, 5 wins that feels better than a season with 7 wins, just depending on how it goes. Like if you just get blown out in 10 games and get lucky, like obviously winning is the most important thing. But what I want the most at the end of the season is to feel like this team is a playoff contender next year. Like, and I don't know in what package that gets delivered in, but if the Titans walk off the field for the final time in the 2026 season and you say, man, that team is ready to make a playoff run next year, I think you're in a good spot. I don't know how many wins that actually has to end up equaling, but that feeling is what you should be searching for at the end of the season.
It's positive momentum, and hopefully you've got maybe not a Super Bowl winning roster, although I would love that this year. Keep in mind the last time the Knicks and the Spurs played in the finals, the Titans and the Rams was the Super Bowl, and the Spurs won that time.
There you go.
And the Rams won that time. So this time it's the Titans' year. But I think this is the steps toward building back to a contender. You've got some pieces. You hope you got your quarterback. You hope you got your wide receiver. You've got maybe the best defensive player in the AFC on your front line. It's about, can you put it together? So let's see if we can get through this transitional period and get to a contender next season.
Craig on the text line says, if you think Michael Mayer and Gunnar Helm, and I think he's a Notre Dame fan, he says, if you think Michael Mayer and Gunnar Helm are the same caliber of player, y'all need to check the studio for a gas leak. Craig, why don't you look at the numbers? Gunnar Helm, as a rookie, had more yards than Michael Mayer has in any of his 3 seasons in the league. So yeah, I think Michael Mayer's a good player, and I think he'd be better if he was in a offense that featured him more. But it's not a crazy thing to say Gunnar Helm and Michael Mayer are in a similar tier of player.
They're comparable NFL players. Maybe their college film is a little bit different.
Right. Michael Mayer was a better prospect coming out.
Absolutely.
Sure. But in the NFL, Michael Mayer has never had more than 328 yards in a season.
Yeah. That is, I think they're pretty comparable as NFL players. So I feel like if you were to bring one in, you would just be bringing in another Gunnar Helm, and that's pretty redundant.
Right. 615-737-1025. 3290 says the last season ruins all the buildup for How I Met Your Mother.
The last episode is not canon in my mind.
They made an alternate ending where it just ends with them meeting. Like the yellow umbrella scene is the end of the show.
That's the canon.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe that Barney and spoilers, everyone.
Oh yeah, the show ended 8 years ago.
All right, plug your ear. Turn
yeah,
it off.
If you don't want to hear How I Met Your Mother spoilers.
I refuse to believe that Barney and Robin get divorced. I refuse to believe that the mother dies.
Yeah.
And I refuse especially to believe that Ted and Robin end up together in the end. Your all the buildup.
Oh, Craig is saying he thinks Helm is a better NFL player.
Oh,
okay.
We're so sorry, Craig.
Sorry, Craig. I just saw your previous text saying you were a Notre Dame fan, and I was assuming you meant Michael Mayer.
We're so sorry. That was a friendly fire.
Yeah, that I apologize. I was like, man.
He led me to believe this. I didn't read it until he read it.
I was lacking some context there. He didn't say which one was better. He said if you see the ones that are same caliber player. Apologies, Craig.
But also go Irish.
I agree. I think Helm probably will end up being a better caliber player in the NFL. Sorry. I jumped to conclusions there.
It's okay.
But I'll
defend my Catholic
I don't like the end of the How I Met Your Mother and how it turned out. But what show has a good ending? Like there aren't many.
Friends had a good ending.
Friends had a good ending. Yeah. It's tough to land the plane.
The Office had a good ending, in my opinion.
Yeah, The Office was solid. Like Game of Thrones.
As Christian leaves.
Game of Thrones is the one that everybody brings up as a bad ending, and I won't spoil that one because
I haven't watched Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I won't spoil it because like Game of Thrones is a show that everybody should watch if you haven't. I was of the mindset before I watched it of like, I don't know if I'm into like the sci-fi like dragons and all this stuff. Like that's not my thing. And my friends were like, no, you have to watch it. And it is my favorite show. It's that good.
I have to watch it.
House of the Dragon season 3 just came out Sunday. Great first episode.
Now you have me thinking, what are shows with good endings? And what are shows with bad endings?
That The Boys just ended. That ending was meh. It was okay. Like
I haven't finished season 4 yet.
People have serious problems with the way it ended. I thought it was okay.
The first 3 seasons are incredible.
Yeah.
The 4th season, and I haven't watched the 5th season yet. But I've heard people were upset with the Stranger Things ending.
Yeah, I heard that whole season was not good, the last season.
And
all the episodes were like 90 minutes long.
I watched the first season and I was like, not for me.
I've never seen it. That's one of my shows that I've never gotten into. Craig says, I love the ending of The Sopranos, but a lot of people don't. I'm mid Sopranos. I've not gotten to the end yet. So I don't know, but I have heard that a lot of people don't like the way it ends.
I know how it ends.
Yeah, I don't know how it
tell
ends.
you.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about the show other than how it ends.
I haven't watched it in a little bit here. Me and my wife, that was our show together. We're like season 4, season 5, somewhere in there.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Another one, 3290 says Breaking Bad, best ending. That's another one that we got halfway through and then canceled Netflix for a little bit. We have it back now, so maybe I need to go to Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one. I'm behind on all my shows, so that's what I'll be doing over the next month or so.
Yeah. Lots of shows to watch.
Yes.
615-737-1025 is the phone number. We got a couple more segments. We're going to move Monday headlines up a day with Connor in here. We're going to try and predict what's going to happen this weekend. So we've got some options. We got Chase from White Bluff on the text line too, which I love. Tell them, I can say that, right? Mofos. I think that's fine.
MFs.
Yeah.
That's fine.
From England. Celsius is a drink, not a degree. A draw to Ghana. Yeah, that was fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, as they said on the Fox broadcast, England historically struggles in the state of Massachusetts.
That is true. The Boston Tea Party and now a draw to Ghana at Boston Stadium, not Gillette.
Boston State. Is that what they're calling it?
You're not allowed to use any brands for the World Cup stadium. So it's all just like it'll say tonight, it'll say Los Angeles Stadium, not SoFi Stadium.
SoFi. That's like when the SEC tournament comes to Bridgestone, they put the black curtain over the Bridgestone on Vision.
Yeah. That's so like Levi Stadium has a big curtain over Levi's because you're not allowed to show it.
No, FIFA's cheap. FIFA won't pay.
615-737-1025 is the phone number. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly. We will make some predictions when we come back. You're on Next Man Up, 105 The Game. Next man up, 102.5 The Game. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly with you. Got a couple more segments on these predictions Monday headlines. Do want to check on the text line. We had some other people texting in about their favorite endings to shows. Gover says the last 2 episodes of The Golden Girls are the best of the series. It's an all-time show, and the finale episodes are the pinnacle. Maybe that's something I need to check out. I have not seen The Golden Girls.
I've seen bits and pieces, but I couldn't tell you the plot.
That's like Betty White, right?
It's Betty White. Yeah, Betty White. Yeah.
That's I know that at least. I've never seen it though.
It's Thank You for Being a Friend.
Oh yeah. Gotcha. Maybe I'll have to check that out. I do need a new show. Dustin from the goal. I don't know.
You're gonna be a Golden Girls fanatic. You know
Yeah.
who loves Golden Girls?
Who?
Big Joe.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's right behind you.
That's Brian Windhorst.
No, on your
I'm
other
just
side.
kidding. Yeah. Dustin from Hopkinsville texts in Fast and Furious when Brian rides off by himself. Yeah. That's
And then
not,
they made
Man.
3
that's
more
not
movies.
the ending though. Like that's 7,
Yeah.
6.
They're on 10 now.
They may be 11 or 12.
I miss when Fast and Furious was about actual street racing and not.
Yeah.
I think the movies are good up until 7, and then after
Yeah.
that, it gets rocky.
Fast 5 is a really good
Fast
movie.
5 is my favorite.
Fast 5 is great.
Was it the first one with Dwayne?
No.
with The Rock?
Yes. Yeah, it was. I think it was the first one with The Rock.
Yeah.
Um,
Where he's the agent.
yeah,
hunting them
and they're
down.
like they're
Yeah.
like robbing somebody in Brazil or something like that.
Yeah, where they have the bank on.
yeah,
or
the
giant
vault.
safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that one's a good one. But then I think I've seen 6, 7, and 8, and then I stopped. The last one I watched was the one where they had to like stop the drill in Alaska or in the Arctic or something like that.
That was 8.
I have no idea.
Where Toretto goes bad. I think that's the last one I saw. Because I don't remember. I think in the newer ones, they go to space.
Yeah, I never saw the one where they go to space because I was like, it's too far.
Yeah.
This used to
That
be
was
about
9.
street race.
It was
racing.
awful.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep,
So
yeah, it was
8,
9.
8 is the last one I saw.
And then they're supposedly making 11, 12, and maybe 13.
Every time they say it's going to be over, Vin Diesel's always like, "Yeah, this is the last one."
Well, the
Family.
last one ended on a
Um,
cliffhanger, so they have to make 11. And then they said they were definitely going to make 12.
Every single actor ever has also like made a cameo in there.
Oh, well, John Cena's
And
on
is
there
like
now.
is Ludacris still
Yeah.
there?
Jason Momoa was
Yeah.
in there. Gal Gadot was in there.
Charlize Theron was a villain in one of those. I want to
That was
say
8. Yeah.
that was okay. Yeah, that's the last one I saw. There we go.
Yeah.
I've pieced it all together.
Sylvester Stallone might have been in there at some point.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Anyway, we've almost burned the whole segment. Let's make some quick predictions. What do we think's going to happen this weekend? Connor, you got anything?
Well, it's Thursday, so I guess I can do this, right?
Yeah.
I'll take the U.S. to sweep the group stage.
There we go. I like it. I'll stick with soccer too. I'm just going to knock out both of them right now. Tomorrow, I'm going to say Norway upsets France and Erling Haaland has a hat trick.
Let's go. Row the boat, but not the Minnesota kind.
I'm a big fan of Norway.
Their fans are awesome.
If the U.S. doesn't make a run, I'm rooting for Norway. And then I'm going back to the well. Cape Verde. I picked them to win last week. They drew. A win makes them move on to the knockout rounds. I'm going to say they beat Saudi Arabia
Let's go.
on Friday. So give me Norway and Cape Verde tomorrow. That's my predictions. Parker, you got any predictions?
I would bet on Brazil, but they already played.
Oh,
So,
yeah, that's true. They won yesterday.
Hey,
Big
don't
upset for
don't
them,
let
by
the
the way.
boys get hot.
Big upset.
Let's look here. So I'm gonna stay in the US's group.
Okay. So
Give
tonight.
give me Paraguay to beat Australia.
Okay.
9 p.m. night, same time as the US.
They are
Give me Australia.
They are the favorite,
Or,
but,
I'm sorry, Paraguay.
but they're not a minus 900 favorite. So there you go.
I got one
Wait,
more.
Paraguay's the favorite?
Yeah.
I'm seeing plus 165.
Yeah. It's 3-way though. It's to win, draw, or
gotcha,
lose.
gotcha.
I got one more.
Yep.
By Monday, the Memphis Grizzlies make a trade.
John Morant.
Bye-bye, John Morant.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
selling market in the NBA right
We
now.
just saw LaMelo Ball get traded. So I like it. Who was the Grizzlies guy who they traded to the Magic who got like
Desmond Bain.
who got like 6 first-round picks back or something like
and
that.
now he's like a
He's a coach on TCU.
yeah, but he's still playing.
Well, yeah.
So I don't know how that's gonna work.
Yeah, actually, I don't. Maybe it's off-season stuff.
I don't know. Maybe,
But like it is cool. Like WNBA players can do that because of the way their schedule works, where they're playing during the
yeah.
season.
Vandy had one.
Vandy had one. Katie Lou Samuelson was on staff.
Yeah.
And then I want to say Florida had Ryan Howard.
As in Kentucky
Kentucky
player?
Ryan Howard.
Ryan
Yeah,
Howard?
she was on Florida staff, which I thought was funny.
Okay. Interesting.
Parker, you got any more predictions for us?
Yeah, give me the Cubs to sweep the Mets.
There you go.
Sorry, TD.
There you
I know
go.
he's in Greece. He's probably not watching.
That's not
Yeah, I can promise you he's not.
yeah. He's not.
I wouldn't either if I was
He
in
wants to
Greece.
he wants to actually enjoy his
The Mets are like
vacation.
12 games under 500. I would, if I was on vacation, I would not be worrying about what they're doing.
Tigers on the come up.
They lost the last 2 days.
Oh.
Tarek
I'll
Skubal.
see him in July.
Tarek Skubal's looked good since coming back. But he is the king of punching everybody out and then just leaving a changeup over the middle of the plate and getting smacked. So they lost yesterday. He took the loss. He made 3 bad pitches and they all left the yard.
Don't worry. He'll be doing that for another team here shortly.
Yeah.
Probably a team in blue.
He's got to have 1 or 2 more like starts where he goes 7, gives up 2 or less runs and look dominant to raise that trade value back up.
Yeah. Don't worry. He'll be out west soon.
Seems to be going that way. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. We will wrap up the show coming up next. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly, next man up. 1025 the game. Next man up, 102.5 The Game. Final segment on this Thursday. Jake Lyman, Connor Nute, Parker Kelly,
And the Blue Angels flying over us.
and Toby Keith flying over us.
May he rest in peace. I love
We
this
can say
song.
that one, right?
Maybe. We'll see. He
Uh,
drank too much.
big game tonight. Not really, but another chance to see the USA playing against Turkey. Doesn't matter for either team. I'm interested to see what Mauricio Pochettino does with the lineup and how much the starters play. Does Christian Pulisic play? But again, it's nice for the U.S. to have already locked up the group heading into the third game. Like there's usually so much tension, and it's like, oh, are they going to make it? They're trying to sneak into that second spot. They've already won the group. They're going to play Bosnia and Herzegovina. So
I mean, there's no. I'll watch it tonight because you only get a few of these games,
Right.
And it's a
only every
special
4
event.
years.
Yeah, but at the same time, there's no pressure tonight. Like I haven't had the major nerves for the past 2 games just because it felt like it was pretty in hand. Look, they're minus 110 tonight, so to win.
Yeah.
So I think they'll win tonight. But ultimately, if they lose, it matters absolutely zero. Like not even your goal differential, which is, I guess, is a important thing that's been going on.
Right. Well, they've
Doesn't
already
matter.
won the group. It doesn't matter. Yep. They're locked into their spot in the bracket. Again, I think it's a 99% chance it's Bosnia and Herzegovina. There's like a one scenario where a certain like 8 groups make it out of, or 8 third place teams make it out of the group stage where it wouldn't be them. I think it would be Senegal. But
Let's go, Senegal.
almost certainly it's going to be Bosnia and Herzegovina. And then after that, likely Egypt. And after that, likely Spain. That's the path
It's a pretty clear path
to get to the semifinals would be those 3 teams.
Like you,
I mean, not Spain, but
it's not a given that you're going to make it, but I mean, if you're looking for an open path to the quarters,
I mean, I
this
think
might be as good as any.
if you told U.S. soccer fans you get to the quarters and you lose to Spain, I think anyone would have taken that heading into the
That's
the
not
World
up for
Cup,
it. Yeah.
right? They've only been to the quarterfinals once, so I think you'd take that, and the path is definitely there. Did want to give you a little bit of an update. Chris MacFarland spoke earlier this hour, getting ready for the NHL draft tomorrow. Scrolling through our good friend Ann Kimmel of Penalty Box Radio, who was
yes.
over there. He talked about Jack Drury, said he's young, he's got a lot of hockey in front of him, said he's an elite defensive player. So that was a big reason why they brought him in. Also, he said doesn't think that they're going to make a big offer to a player in their 30s, says that they're focusing on younger players like Surin, Martin, Lee, Reed, etc. Let's see what else. I think that's pretty much the big takeaways. I mean, he wasn't going to say too much. He said improving the middle of the ice is a priority for the Preds, looking for incremental improvements because it's hard to get a game-changing superstar right now. We know where we are. We know what we are. The words from Chris MacFarland there.
Okay. So there's some self-awareness there.
Yes. And I think you're seeing that.
And he's been pretty open about it.
Right. He has a plan for, I believe he called it a slow build to try and build this team, intentional and making the right moves. So we'll see. Draft tomorrow night. And tomorrow on the show, Max Herr is going to join us from 11 to noon. He will be anchoring alongside Willie Donick our draft coverage tomorrow night. So we'll get an early look at what the draft could look like from Max on the show tomorrow before he covers it all the way through the first round tomorrow night in Buffalo. Yeah, I'm glad we could move things around here and have you on today, Connor. It's been fun.
I am too, because now I can sleep in on a Friday.
Right. That is true. You not starting your weekend early because you still got to be in here for DVD, but at the very least, your Friday it looks a lot less packed.
Well, I'm glad I could get in here one more time before the 4th.
Right.
With you, because obviously we won't have a show next Friday. And then the next Friday, I'll be covered for Chase and McJoe. So
right.
We won't. Well,
Yeah,
I'll still have you on
That's
Tuesdays,
true. This will be a while until we have you back on as a co-host. So
yeah, I'll still be.
You'll be
moderately with you.
Yeah.
As a producer.
Right. That's true on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So
it's a reunion.
Did want to bring this up. I saw this earlier in the show, and we got a couple minutes here before we got to get out. First Horizon Park going to host a early season college baseball tournament next year.
Oh, cool.
So it will be Vanderbilt, Cincinnati, Ohio State, and Virginia Tech playing over at the Sound Stadium.
Look at that.
So that'll be March 5th through the 7th next year.
I think I would go watch an Ohio State game just to do the chant with them.
Yeah.
OH.
IO.
We probably just summoned Dr. Locke, but that's okay.
Yeah. He better hurry. He better hurry. So that's 2 tournaments that Vandy is already slated for next year. They're going out to Arizona to play a few other teams, a couple mid-majors, couple high major teams. So, Tim Corbin not changing the way he schedules after missing the tournament last year.
Good. Don't change your entire coaching philosophy. I think there's some things internally that you can fix, position coach wise and things like that. But I would chalk it up to a one-off year. You lost a lot of talent, especially in the pitching department. You weren't healthy for the majority of the season. So I would chalk it up to a one-off. Now, if we get to next season and things are the same, then we might have some problems. Not that they're going to fire Tim Corbin. He leaves when he wants to leave. But I think this year, you just chalk it up to bad luck, move on to the next year, and keep scheduling the way that you were expected to schedule.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right that Tim Corbin has a proven track record of success. And, one down year, I don't think should make him make widespread changes. Now, you have to look inward, and you gotta figure out what went wrong. But I do think that he's proven that what he does works. He's got 2 national championships to show for it. So
yeah, he hasn't missed the tournament in my lifetime until this year.
Yeah, you're right.
Because it was 2000.
No, he missed it. I want to say 2005 was the last time. So,
well, I was 1. So
there you go.
I don't remember it.
Again tonight, the U.S. taking on Turkey. Doesn't really matter. But there are some games that do matter today because they're playing all of these games in order, right? Like they're playing 6 games each day because everybody's got, in order is not the right word, simultaneously, because you don't want anybody having an advantage of knowing a result before they get out on the pitch. But you got Japan and Sweden coming up tonight. That'll be fun.
The Japanese fans are so much fun.
They are. I think we talked about it last week, but the guy I don't speak English, but I am excited.
Yeah,
that
great. Guy's awesome.
All the fans have been so good. I know we've talked about it a ton of just like the international fans coming over here, but that's been my favorite part of the World Cup.
Oh, for sure. Even in an in-game environment. Like we were just talking about the Norwegian guys. Like I want the Minnesota Vikings to take that on. Row in the boat. They won't because us Americans are so shallow.
They do the skull.
Yeah. That's so stupid. Skull.
Row the boat's already been coined. PJ Fleck has that one.
Yeah. If PJ Fleck gets fired from Minnesota, does Minnesota stop using row the boat?
Yeah, because he brought that from Western Michigan.
Okay. So it's like how Buzz Williams is, where he just brings
with his get better.
It's never about the team.
You will not find any Maryland basketball shirts in his wardrobe. It's all Team Buzz, get better.
I can't wait for about 3 years from now when he makes another lateral move.
I mean, it's every 6 years he makes a move. He went from Marquette after 6 years to Virginia Tech for 6 years, then Texas A&M for 6 years, and now he's at Maryland. So
he'll be at Ohio State.
You've got 4 more years left with Buzz Williams. Enjoy him, College Park. That'll wrap things up for us. It's been a fun show today. Again, tomorrow on the program, it is NHL Draft Day. Max Herz will join us for an hour. We'll talk all things Preds. We'll get into much more as well. But keep it tuned right here. Chase and Big Joe with Nick Frazier coming up next. And happy birthday to Chase McCabe.
Happy birthday,
to the suit. Keep it right here on 102.5 The Game.